Let's kick it old school! Old school essentials. The further adventures of the Thunderous Fury.
All right, it is Old School Essentials, the further adventures of the Thunderous Fury, session 59. Time for the recap.
Once again, I will attempt it if nobody else is interested.
That's the bard's job.
All righty.
You also just do such a great job at it.
Yeah,
Your
incredible at
notes
it,
are
actually.
impeccable.
Yeah.
Last session, we start with Clintok and Felix, since they were technically in the background for the session before. And they get a note, Clintok especially gets a note that Silvermere wants to talk to them because apparently he's having second thoughts about showing up and completely reversing his forever against the Ape Empire stance. Clintok wanders down to the very good district for Silvermere because apparently being a rebel against the Ape Empire pays really, really well. And hears that, yes, Silvermere is waffling on doing this because I've been against the Ape Empire forever and it's been my statement forever. Why should I change now? Clintok says that instead there will actually be an imposter Silvermere up on stage who will start ranting about, reversing his status on the Ape Empire. And then, Silvermere should be the one to interrupt him and reinforce his ideas and therefore gain even more fame for interrupting an imposter and showing up the Ape Empire. Now, Silvermere agrees that that's probably a good idea, more or less, but he's still waffling until Clintok flat out bribes him. And then suddenly, hey, I can buy more house. I can buy more luxury goods in my wonderfully little rebel hideout that's actually a mansion on the hill, The only other item there is he gets, Clintok gets clothes in order for the imposter to be a, quote unquote, look like a real Silvermere. And also gets, Clintok also gets a signed copy of My Struggle Against the Empire, One Man, One Revolution. Wow. He's really full of himself, isn't it? All right. Bertram leads us to the rest of us to the industrial district. Notice that there is a surprising lack of guard presence. And then we note that there is a lot of guards, mages, and clerics around the ground mausoleum. Funny that things are working a little faster than intended. Bertram notes that there are tunnels. If we are looking for escape routes, there are tunnels through a lot of the place, and there's even one that goes from the the campus district to the industrial district, but it hasn't been used in forever, and so it may actually be flooded. Bertram also informs us that his boss has found uniforms of a historical reenactment society so that we can blend into things and therefore surprise our enemies there. In any case, at that point, a couple of the characters see a red-haired woman in a reflection who makes a gesture that they interpret as meaning danger or something. But they don't actually mention it to more than a couple of the other characters, and so the morning sort of goes to the side. Come morning, Felix decides to check out the tunnel and Mr. Deal with the Captain Bosun, to go out in the bay and send a raft up to the lake and hang out for a bit and wait for us to show up, or eventually leave if we don't show up, and paid him half in advance just to be reasonably sure that he would be there. Oh, we did find out a little more about Captain Bosun, at least the fact that he is a legend of some sort, rumored to be an immortal, and rumored to have participated in all sorts of wild events, but who knows? In any case, morning comes. Like I said, Felix checks the tunnel. We go out to the dock and row across the bay. We don't see even a single ape soldier. Instead, we see humans and ape empire patrolling. And we go to meet Martellus. Bertram looks surprised to see Martellus, and Martellus takes them into a back room to quote unquote talk. But somebody listens at the door. That would be, of course, our favorite thief listens at the door and hears someone being choked. So Clintok walks up, knocks on the door, and interrupts them. Where Martellus just sort of scoffs it off, like, oh, nothing much. So Martellus brings out the uniforms, and we put them on, and we have a little bit of surprise as we hear loud people walking by where we are, but nothing actually comes from that. Orion tries to coach people on the battle that we supposedly reenacting, so we can actually answer the most basics of the reenactment. And we managed to get Bertram to open up a bit and reveal exactly how shitty his boss is, at which point Orion goes, well, you can always escape with us and join the Thunderous Fury, because we haven't seen our boss in forever, and he mostly lets us do what the heck we want. Alrighty, so we split up to make our final preparation. Tamil, Clintok, and John Tor are doing scouting around, and Sofan and Basil Wilberforce, of course, our climbers, are setting up ropes at the waterfall and are reconning the local area. And Basil X is scouting the admin building. Basil Wilberforce and Sofan set up the rope. However, as they are setting up the ropes, they note that they get accosted by a couple of guys who make some sort of smart-ass talk about how rich the Emperor is, and talks about the lecture that is going on, with a little heavy-handed hint that, we might have something for them, but they do indeed manage to get the rope set up. Basil X and Clintok manage to enter the admin building, see some human workers working on their holiday at the doctor's office. Apparently some terrible people vandalized it. The doctor is paying overtime in order to get it back in place. Clintok fishes for information about the portals, and the workers know absolutely nothing about the portals. And indeed, Clintok and Basil can't find a damn thing about them. So Clintok does his usual attempt at misdirection and writes a note that the Thunderous Fury will try to steal the train, and slides it under the barracks door before they wander out. We all managed to do our various scouting and setup, and we're ready to go. We get to the stage, and the chainmail adventure and the other adventurer are there, which is, not a surprise because they said so, but in retrospect should have been sort of worrying. Solomar and his butler show up and sit back in the crowd to see who the imposter was. And it turns out that, the imposter that Martellus came up with is the piano player. And yes, Virgil, the piano player, and yes, indeed, he's wearing Solomar's discards. At that point, things start to get funny because we split the group, and the group that's outside notes that there's an ape in the back with a rather bad but healed throat wound, who's the one we killed. So some of us are going, Ryan and John Tor, Felix, and Basil X and Basil W are going in to rescue Karn while the rest of us wait outside. However, we have a fun little start as there is an announcement that indeed there will be a special guest speaker, and it will be Cardstone, who will denounce Cuthbert. Indeed. Of course, we know that's bullshit, so we sort of wave it off. And head onwards. So outside, Clintok decides to do Chainmail Guy a favor and tells him that, it's all a fake. Unfortunately, Chainmail Guy says he knows that and proceeds to start trying to whack away at Clintok, which he unfortunately gets hit. Hence, we know things are already going bad, but unfortunately, the group is already split, and the inside guys have no earthly idea what's going on. The only good luck they have there is they drag the magnetic handle across the wall where the soldiers stood previously and do manage to find the door and start going up. Yay. Tamul gets hit by a blowgun in the first round outside, and somebody's shooting at Bertram too, just for funsies. And of course, both guys who were at the falls are fighting us. The inside guys, go up and up and up for a couple of rounds and are just basically sweating, trying to barge up the stairs to the tower. When Cuthbert himself decides to give Karn a rap on the head, says the equivalent of, "I gave you the ability to escape. Why ain't you doing it?" And Karn looks around going, "Huh? What?" Until he looks down at the rug and sees, wait a minute, that guy's on a horse. I can summon a horse. I summon a horse. And summons his horse. Batters down the door and starts charging down the stairs. In the meantime, the outside guys are suffering a bit because because apparently not only are our people suffering, but the groups are suffering because apparently there's at least two groups and they're trying to interfere with each other. Because the dart blower actually tags one of the guys with the flaming sword, who rather successfully chops Clintok down. Tamul has survived the first dart, but is not doing so well because he takes another one and goes down. Now, in the meantime, just to make things even more fun, someone summons an earth elemental who is very shortly to be heard mumbling about kill Karn Stone, kill Karn Stone. So, of course, it charges into the lecture hall, starts rumbling up the stairs while the rest of us are trying to come down it. And after some back and forth, we decide maybe in figuring out this thing has the armor class of, stone, we decide that maybe actually tangoing it is a bad idea and manage to slip around after Karn jumps his horse over it, and therefore it turns around and ignores the rest of us, allowing the rest of us to get out. So as we're coming out, we find that there is apparently either a third and perhaps a fourth group joining the fun, because a couple of students have entered the fight and have managed to charm, who was it, Zofan, to pick up Tamul and drag him to us, there.
The hello, friends. Do you look trustworthy? You look have high GPAs.
But fortunately, the students are not serious contenders because the H gets stabbed and decides to bug out rather than continue the fight. In the meantime, the elemental is regularly taking swings at Karn and the horse and clips the horse a couple of times. So we managed to run off the students, but we've still got two groups of people after us. Oh, except it may be three, because now Third Eye Ape's in the mix too, or maybe four. Who knows? We can only hope they're going to get in each other's way. So we managed to pick up Tamul and sling his paralyzed ass over the horse. Orion comes out and decides that yes, the only guy he respects in the whole party needs a little help, and heals Clintok, who is now tottering along at his 2 or 3 hit points. And Orion also manages to talk Zofan out of control, because apparently stabbing Mage didn't do anything. And that's where we left off.
See, yeah, you guys are out in front of the lecture hall. It is night. There are like 2 tiki torches that light up that stage. And behind you, the colonnade is lit up with sconces, looks like almost magical fire. And that swamp where all those rocks are kind of lit up with motes of light. so people can go out there and walk. So there is some light. It's not completely dark. There's some light out here. You notice the third-eyed ape. You heard a whistle, and the third-eyed ape looked like he opened a metal grate because it made a like a creaking noise. And he steps out, and you see him. The earth elemental has attacked Karn's horse again. And the two figures, one was in like a school outfit, like a vest or whatever, and she had a crossbow that she missed pretty much every single time she shot it. And another looked like flamboyant, dressed like Liberace, probably a spellcaster, which Felix did injure. They have run off to, it looks like they're headed towards the university, like wherever. They're running away, I think, and that is it. It is your turn. You guys are up.
Basil
Okay.
Wilberforce is outside already, right?
Yeah, everybody's outside. Also, the magic dart is inside the lecture hall because it was thrown and missed and ended up in the lecture hall.
Yep.
So it was thrown and missed, and scooped up and thrown and missed, and scooped up again and thrown and missed. And at that point, we had found out that the part outside was going to hell,
Yep.
being chased by an earth elemental. So fortunately, Orion will not get to have his test of stabbing himself with the dart until he gets the third eye and then 18 wisdom. Well.
Also, Wes, roll me a d6.
You could run inside, grab the dart, and stab yourself with it.
Yeah, right. I could, plan on dying. So while he's doing that, Orion knows exactly what he's going to do because this has worked fairly well previously.
6.
And hopefully there's enough vegetation to work. Sort of right behind us, since we aren't in melee with anything but the earth elemental,
Mhm.
but right behind us and hopefully catching some of the other bastards, he's going to cast Entangle. All plants present in a 20-foot radius area within range, bend and twist, entangling creatures inside the area.
That's on third eye, right?
Yeah, whoever's right behind us, up to the GM, exactly who might be in that area, but he wants to set up an area where an area that will slow people down so that we can, abscond safely.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Okay. It just depends on what your method of egress is going to be. Because you could try to take the road, like you see the little black line that goes from the colonnade south past, you'd have to go past the third-eyed ape. Or you could try to loop all the way around the lecture hall and go that way.
No, Orion is assuming we're headed for the ropes down the cliff.
Right, but I'm just saying, I would assume that's where you're headed, but are you going to take the most direct route, or are you going to kind of go around?
I mean,
I'm presuming the direct route.
Yeah.
And Orion will say out loud, lead the earth elemental to the cliff. Maybe we can trick it into falling over.
Is like the river or stream that runs underneath like the colonnade and whatever part of the purple area, which I'm forgetting the name of.
I think that's the admin district. Yeah.
Okay, that part of the admin district. Is it very deep?
No, it's like a couple feet deep, maybe 2 feet deep.
So you couldn't jump off the colonnade and land and expect not to hurt yourself. All right. That's all I needed to know.
Yeah, you're not going to jump in the river and float down the river to where the waterfall is and then
it's
ride the ropes.
And Orion is, besides casting the spell, he is going to be heading the short route towards our supposed escape.
Okay. Most direct route would be the third-eyed ape. He's got to make a save versus spells.
Yep.
Sharn's going to shout out quickly that he's got an injured friend on the horse. Is there anybody else who needs to ride on it? Get him over here.
Also, let me say, as you do that, you look around and realize that Zofan is frozen in place.
Yeah.
I guess Karn's going to gallop over to Zofan and jump off and load him up on the horse.
If we can do this coordinatedly, Felix will heft him up over for you.
Now I don't
John
know
Thorpe
how much
was-
the horse can carry with Karn on it. I was feeling like it might stretch it to say I'd carry 2 paralyzed figures and ride the horse.
Well, Tamul doesn't have a whole lot of stuff. And Karn isn't wearing his armor.
Right.
We'll just say for the sake of, we'll say you could probably get both of them up there. But it's kind of, you might be slowed a little bit because you have to be careful because you got 2 paralyzed people that you've got to kind of figure out how to like maneuver on the horse.
Once he gets it up there, he says, "Where are we going?" And that's probably about all he can manage to do on his turn, I'm sure. He doesn't know where to go or anything like that. But like I said, his idea is he's going to ride a little bit faster than the stone elemental can walk and try to taunt it and lead it away from his friends.
Clintok will yell out obtusely, "Follow Birdman," so as not to inherently give away who it is.
And John Tor, by the way, is going to spend this round following Birdman and tearing off the clothes that he now knows are, big targets on himself.
I will roll the save here for save versus spells, right?
Yep.
I rolled a 4. That does not do it for him. So yes, some of the reeds and various foliage have wrapped up Third Eye. He looks stunned, shocked by what has transpired. Let's see, I believe what Clintok. Felix helped load up Zofan. So we got Basil, Bessex, and Clintok, and Basil Wilberforce.
Yeah, Clintok will generally follow the direct route behind Orion, but we'll pass close enough to the third ape that he like bites his thumb at him, and then he says, "I bite my thumb at you, sir," and then keeps going.
How many people are attacking us? So we have the Earth Elemental, we have the Third Eye Ape. Like, what are the others? So what Basil Bessex is thinking is trying to assess: can he make a break for it and get the throwing dart?
You can, you can run in the lecture hall and get it, and that would be your action.
Yeah, but like what I guess he's he's trying to do a risk assessment to see like, is that going to put him in like a position where he would be locked inside or potentially like stuck inside the lecture hall or surrounded.
Well, right now the third-eyed ape is covered with vines and various foliage that has that has restrained him, and the earth elemental, from what you understand, is going after Karn.
Yeah, but these are the only 2 enemies,
right? The other 2 are running away.
Yeah, there's the students, those flunkers. So Basil's gonna make a break to try to get the throwing dart, and then to try to get outside of the lecture hall so he doesn't get into a situation where he's stuck inside.
All right, give me a D6 roll.
3.
Okay, you do find the dart in the lecture hall, but that will take all your turn. The next round you'll be able to run out. The guy sees you come running in, peeks his head out from the lectern. It's like, oh, that was yours. I should have picked it up for you. Why don't you stay a while? I can start from the beginning.
No, thank you. I've got to go.
This guy can't catch a break.
Sir, do you possess any skills besides zoning laws?
There's what do you mean?
Do you can you pick up a sword? Can you command magic?
I mean, people have said that when I speak, they have the urge to harm themselves. If that's an ability, then
You are needed outside. I know just the person who wants to listen to your lecture.
He picks up his book. He says, if that is where I'm needed, then I shall go there. He makes his way outside.
Great.
All right. So the lecturer has decided that the audience really is outside and not the one sleeping guy in the lecture hall.
Fantastic. I'm just running.
Okay. Right. That's what you said.
Basil Wilberforce hasn't done anything, has he?
Right. No, he hasn't. You're correct.
As he's running past the third eyed ape, can we do called shots?
Yeah.
He wants to try to call a shot to put an arrow in that third eye.
Oh,
Okay.
Did my THACO go up? I never did figure out if my THACO went up.
What level are you?
5th level thief. Do you have the thing open?
It definitely goes up.
I think you would incur a negative trying to shoot with a called shot.
I understand that. I'm willing to take the shot, take the chance.
Your THACO is goes from a 19 to a 17 at 5th level.
So he's got another
+2.
+2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I've been taking that +2 into account. I know I haven't been taking that +2 into account for a while.
Okay. So he's not going to get his.
So with his dexterity, he would have a +3 to hit.
Okay. So it would be a -1.
A -1. So a -4 with the +3 would be -1.
Yeah, I would say -4.
Do a called shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
-4 is fair for a called shot. I know that the chances are good he's gonna miss.
He is not getting his dex bonus. So
No?
his armor class is actually lower.
Nice. This is about the best chance you'll get.
Yeah, third eye ape isn't getting his dex bonus.
You're right. Yep, that'd be fair. So that's his armor class right there. I wrote it down. Okay. So yeah, -1 of the roll. Let's see what happens.
All right, this is a new die. Don't know how well it does. Let's find out what a 18 does. -1, 17.
Yeah, that's a hit.
God damn.
Right in the third eye.
Third eye's going to be more pissed with us. If at all possible.
All right, roll damage.
With a D6 for an arrow, right? 5. Hey,
Okay.
I like this dice.
So yeah, the arrow goes right into third eye's eye, and he is hurting. That is not going to make him happy. Nice. All right, it is their turn.
Let's take away his mojo.
We can hope.
Well, some of you probably, well, since some of you are running away, you don't realize, but what happens is stepping out of the colonnade is Virgil, who has apparently not left the battle.
Oh.
And he says, well, wait a second here. I showed up fair and square to give my speech, which I'm about to do. I, Solamore, have reached the stage today, waking from a great mental fog. You no doubt have heard my struggle. I was but an imbecile. The Ape Empire has done nothing to impair my ascension to great philosophical heights. In fact, I sit in a great house looking over the unwashed masses and relieve myself unto them as I see fit. All while they hear my trickles to be manna of revolution. Everybody has stopped and now is watching him. Even the Earth Elemental has turned. We have provided for each other. Those observing think we are jousting, but instead we are merely jesting. Thou should return to these hovels and bleat, knowing that you'll never rise from the dust, for your rage is a tool. I am the fire and you the kettle. The only thing you will ever be capable is creating a shrill whistle, never boiling over the waters of fury. And he kind of waits for applause, and you hear, shut up. And that girl who was running turns and fires her crossbow and hits him. Right in the, he's like, oh. and he reaches down and he puts his green velvet pointed hat on, and you slowly watch him transform. He's like, and he turns into half human, half warthog.
Great.
And then as you look behind you, you see that she's like, see, I finally got one. And the guy who looks who's dressed like Liberace, very flamboyant, starts to wave his hands, and a fog begins to roll in and cover their egress. So you don't even see them anymore. There's like this thick fog that begins to show up back near the university.
Okay, Orion has to say something at this point. I know it's probably wrong, but it has to be said. Winston, is that you? Winston being the warthog he
Yep.
fought and had for 2 sessions before he sent it off down the side street with soldiers chasing after it.
But the Earth Elemental, of course, distracted by this speech, comes to and realizes, kill Karn Stone, and runs over to the horse to punch it.
Oh man.
Because he's got to get Karn off the horse. And that's going to be a hit because that's a 17 with his plus. So 2 plus 3. So that's only 5 damage. So he goes up and whacks the horse again. And the third-eyed ape pulls the arrow out of his eye. You see it, the blood trickling down. And he's going to roll to see if he can break out of these vines, which he cannot. Well, no, that's a 7. You got to roll under for this.
Now you got to roll over your save, right?
It's technically not a save at this point. He's got to roll under his strength.
Oh,
So he kind of starts ripping the vines off and steps away from the metal grate. And coming up from behind him, you see ape soldiers coming up out of the grate. Out of the grate. Very interesting. Out of the grate. And he says, we are not capturing. Kill them all. As the ape soldiers, there's only so many that can get out. But next turn, they will be pursuing you.
time to run. I mean, Basil was already running. He just stopped, let fly, kept going.
Yeah, that was a good shot. Good. All right, so it is the initiative roll, and I believe the only person left that I think it's Basil W needs to roll because he's the only one that doesn't have a negative. And I rolled a 4. You can see that.
Let's see here. So did I, and I have a +1.
You up first, so that's the situation. You see.
As far as Karn and Basil W go, they know. Time to go.
All right, so yeah, you're running. You're hauling ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as he's riding on his horse, Karn leans over and gives it half of his points that he can for the day with laying on hands to give him another 4 points back.
Okay, nice. All right, very good.
Felix will use this opportunity to maybe give some more cover to the fleeing group, and will strike up his last bottle or his last thing of lantern oil and chuck it at the apes, and then is gonna turn and run into the fog to like try and at least distract some of them, and hopefully the rest of his party can make it away.
Okay, so the fog is in the opposite direction. If you see where all the water is, where the university is, and like the swamp area where the rocks are headed towards the lecture hall.
Yes.
Okay, kind of in there.
Okay.
And everybody's headed in the other direction, but you can run into the fog, yeah.
Yeah, my general plan is gonna try and run to the fog and then try and hit the stream and follow the stream down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. If you're trying to roll to hit with the if you're trying to do damage with the flask of oil, it's a roll to hit. If you're just trying to cause a distraction, just give me a dex roll.
Okay. Yeah, just distraction. 15, which isn't underneath my dex.
Okay, so it's it's not a great roll, but not in the direction you had intended. But it hits the ground, and there is a small little fire burning as you run and like vanish into the fog that had just rolled in. You're in the fog.
Clintok's gonna keep booking it down
Okay.
the more direct path.
Okay, so Clintok, Karn, and Basil W direct. Felix is going the fog via the stream.
Basil W is probably dropping caltrops behind him.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
That is an excellent point. Did
Bought two
Orion have
sets to
anything
replace
like
the one that the guy dodged.
Oh, nice.
So he'll drop one of those sets now.
We'll alternate. Orion actually does have caltrops also, but he'll wait until you're out or whatever. Just because we need even more distraction back there. Orion will, while booking his ass away from the area John is running to, turn over his shoulder and yell, Solomir, are you gonna take that lying down? Come on, man, throw that imposter out.
Nice.
Basil's going to point out to the lecturer and say, there's your captive audience member, as he like points to the third Eyed Ape who's currently being restrained.
No, third Eyed Ape broke out.
Oh, he broke out.
He's moving at half speed.
It's not quite escaped yet. He's in the process.
Yeah, but there's definitely an audience out here.
Yeah. Feel free to start.
Hey, that's a great audience. There's all sorts of people out here.
You know, he has to set the encounter music just correctly. And then Basil is going to, I guess he will follow suit. So he'll like, if he sees like Felix and Clintok like ducking into the fog, like he will run after them. Or if he can see the horse, then that's what he'll do.
So Basil Bessex is going the fog route.
Yep.
So you guys run, you run into the fog, like you can't see anything, but you're obscured, so they can't see you. I will make a roll for the ape soldiers as they begin to run because there are caltrops. Oh, wow. So that's the roll they have to roll under, and I can tell you right now, their dex is not 19. So the caltrops they run out, they don't realize how swampy this is. And then, they're trying to get through this. And then one of them steps on it and falls down. You hear them splashing in the water.
Yes.
And the third Eyed Ape just kind of shakes his head like these incompetent boobs. I'm going to roll a D6 to see what Virgil does. Virgil just kind of stands there. He looks around like he sees all these different targets, but he's kind of unsure what to do. And then the lecturer starts talking. He says, the propensity of zoning laws began in the early days, and he just kind of looks fixed. He's staring at the lecturer like, this is interesting.
The guy have a super power.
So yeah, the third Eye Ape just kind of he's stepping out, like covering his eyes. There's blood all over his hand, and more soldiers are coming out of this underground area. We go to the next round. Now we have pick the people who don't have -4s, which would be Felix, Basil Bessex. Yeah, that's it.
Basil can
Okay.
go.
All right, I rolled a 4.
5 minus 2 is a 3.
You don't have any dex bonus?
I do, but that's including the dex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those
All right.
minuses are hell. Those minuses are hell.
Yeah.
Especially on initiative.
So the ape soldiers are running. I'm going to roll to see who they go after. I'm going to roll a D6 to see how many actually have a shot. Okay, there's 4 of them that will actually have a shot. Because there's obviously that admin building that's sticking out, and you guys are running around. There's trees, and it's at night. So 4 of them actually have a shot with their crossbows. And I'm going to roll to see who they attack. And I've got a little chart here to see who they go after. We'll roll D6s. 2, 3, 4, and 1. Okay, so here come the attacks. Well, they can see at night, so they don't have a negative. And they get 2 attacks at +4. The first attack is going to be on Clintok.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 crossbows. They do have repeating crossbows. Nobody else, you've never seen anybody else have this, but these ape soldiers have this, which would be wise to steal one at some point. I rolled a 14, the lowest.
Yes, the 14 doesn't hit.
Okay, the 16 plus 4, 20 would hit.
Yep.
And associated with that would be 5. Is there any plus to that? Plus 2. That's 7 damage.
Clintok is down again,
Oh,
God
jeez.
damn it.
Damn.
but -3, I believe.
Okay. That's right, because you went down one other time. You've already been.
Yeah, got hit by the flaming sword, dude.
Oh, yeah, God. Okay, -3. All right, we'll resolve that in a second. So Clintok is down. The next attack is coming after Karn, which will be one will be against Karn's horse, which is a 19. That's definitely a hit, and that'll be 8 damage to the horse.
Ugh.
And the next shot will be at Karn himself. And that's just wait, you don't have any armor. That's
Yeah,
a 14, 4 damage.
hits.
4
That
damage.
hits. Yeah. So he's 26 minus 4.
Okay. The next 2 attacks are going after Basil Wilberforce.
Uh-oh.
The highest roll I got was a 13.
And his AC is a 13.
That's 6 damage.
Ugh. That hurt.
And the next attack is on Orion. And the lowest roll I got was a 15.
The lowest?
Yep.
Well, I guess that's it. Well,
Okay. If it's a hit, the total damage is 12.
well, fuck me. Excuse my French. Still up, extremely unhappy.
Okay, and we need to resolve poor Clintok. He's run into a string of bad luck here.
Which sounds to me like he went in the opposite direction too, right?
No,
No,
Clintok,
Felix and Basil Bessex did.
Oh, okay.
Clintock's with us.
Right. I'll make sure I got that right. If I got it wrong, let me know.
Right.
-3. So you roll a d12.
7.
That's still good. You don't, when you roll the d12, you don't want to roll high because that's bad, very bad. Roll a d6. Will Clintok join the ranks of the concussed?
2.
2. He does not. You take that. Oh, you took an arrow to the knee. The back of the knee, right in the back. Yeah. So you are disabled.
Oh.
Well, right now you're unconscious, so don't worry about the being disabled. You're
Yeah.
So yeah, Clintok drops, crashes to the ground there. Okay.
As he falls, he says, "I bend the knee, physically, not spiritually," and then passes out.
Okay, so Virgil, let's see what Virgil does.
It might be time for Clintok to find out what happens to his soul that he sold.
So Virgil, is listening, and then you guys wouldn't see it. The lecturer is like, oh yeah, he definitely likes it, and then something he says, something about annexation of property, unforced annexation of property, and Virgil just furrows his brow. He gets angry, and all of a sudden a scythe forms in his hand, and he runs up and attacks him.
What? What the hell is this dude?
And he just lays into him, does max damage. You hear the lecturer scream. All right, that was his random attack. Well, at least he didn't go after one of you guys.
What the
Awesome.
hell is he?
Basically.
The earth elemental is chasing you. You are definitely ahead of him, so he cannot catch up. He is just running, and now he's got he's got to get through he doesn't care about the caltrops, but he's trudging through the swamp, not the swamp, but the marshy ground, chasing after Karn. But he may catch up to you. Anyway, that's everybody. So you guys are up. That's the situation.
All right. So I'm trying to do two things. So I'll do one half-assed and one for real. The half-assed is I'll grab my bag of caltrops and sort of chuck them vaguely in Basil Wilberforce's direction and go, hit up replacement. The one I'm actually, so you can rule whether that works correctly or not, but
Yep.
the thing he's actually paying attention to is you hear him mumbling about the things I do for a good story, and he reaches down and picks Clintok up and staggers onward and yells out, Karn, man down, help.
You know,
So
I'm out of
basically,
room on the horse, right?
I tossed the caltrops basically at Basil Wilberforce's, feet somewhere.
Are you throwing them out to be used, or are you throwing them for him to use?
I'm throwing them for him to use because I don't have time to spread.
Gotcha.
those.
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay.
Basil W will scoop them up and throw them behind him, empty them out of the bag. And he is running as fast as he can while he
Okay.
does.
All right, you're running as fast as you can.
How
John?
far behind me is Orion and Clintok as far as Karn goes?
I don't think they're that far behind you because you can't move as fast because you got two people on there and you don't want to go flying off.
Karn jumps down, grabs Clintok with Orion, slings it over the horse, and then continues running on foot to keep the three on the horse.
So 3 bodies are on this horse.
I love it. They just
Okay.
stack them up like pile of wood.
Bring out your
Like,
dead.
I'm not gonna push my luck. I figure, we can still move. Karn can move at a full 40. He's not encumbered with plate mail.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, he doesn't have plate mail, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, if he had plate mail on right now, this fight would probably be going a little bit differently. He would probably be dying, but it would probably be going a little bit differently.
He might actually attack.
Yeah, he well understands that his friends have come here to save him, and standing and fighting in robes isn't going to be the way to get his friends back out of danger.
Okay.
He's smart enough for that. That's the wisdom kicking in.
All right. So that is Karn and Basil Wilberforce. Orion, John Torres, he's still running.
John Torres still running, yes.
And Karn's going to be between him, the horse, and that fucking stone elemental. He ain't hitting his horse again.
Okay.
Horse ain't gonna make it down the cliff, but oh well. Anyway,
Karn and the horse are not and the three are not going to be going down the waterfall. Basil's already figured that out. He's going to lead them elsewhere.
okay.
Basil knows where to go. He knows that Karn's trying to help everybody that he possibly can. He's going to catch up with him and lead him down to the water because he's been scouting around this town a couple of different times. He knows where they got to go.
So John Tor, Orion, it wouldn't be Basil threw the caltrops and ran. So I'm going to give John Tor the full retreat movement. So he actually runs fast, gets beyond everybody because you can do a full retreat. You're not allowed to use your shield, but I don't think anybody's got a shield. So, but you can't like take an action and do a full retreat. Like that's got to be the full thing that you do. So that's everybody in that group. What about, Felix and Basil Bessix, you're in the middle of a cloud, like you can't even see each other.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep running in the general vague direction that I ran into the cloud, hoping to get across the other side and head in the rightish direction.
Give me a D12 roll.
Yep. 12.
Yeah, you're running and all of a sudden you step into some water and you realize you're out of the cloud, but you're like in 2 feet of water.
Okay. Turn right, hoping that's the right direction.
Yeah, you kind of figure out like where you are at this point. There's a little bit of light that goes around this like lake area.
Mhm.
But yeah, you stepped like right out of the fog. This fog that you can't even see you can't even see the lecture hall. I mean, you can see the top of it, of course, but you can't see
Right.
the colonnade. Okay, yeah, you're right there. Basil Bessex.
Yep, Basil is gonna also run through the fog.
Yep.
If he gets to the water. So, well, he's also gonna realize that the robes that he's wearing has a giant target mark on it. So he'll
Discard those. Okay.
he'll discard those.
Yep.
Throw them into. Well, he won't throw them into the water. He'll just discard them.
Okay. Give me a D12 roll.
That's a 6.
So yeah, you take the robes off, you chuck them, you're moving through this fog. Then you step out and you realize you're like on the same side that you entered. So you step out and you see Virgil, who is now the wereboar, were-warthog, with his scythe has just hacked into the lecturer. And you see the group faintly down, like making their way down the hill. And it looks like Karn is standing in front of his horse or something. And there's a bunch of ape soldiers that have got their crossbows out shooting.
He's gonna jump right back in the fog.
Yeah, you just kind of step back like Homer.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's very disorienting. That's all I'm trying. That's basically why you
Yeah.
make that roll. It's like it's weird. It's good. All right. So you're still in the fog. Roll 6. Okay. Clintok's unconscious. Zofan is paralyzed.
Yep.
Tamul is paralyzed. So the question would be: should Zofan roll even though he's paralyzed at a -4? Well, since you no, you know what? Since you can't act, it wouldn't be fair to make you roll an initiative since you technically can't do anything. We are back to the top of the lineup, if I am correct, because everybody has gone that can go.
Yeah.
So I rolled a 2, so bring out your best person because you need it.
Who do we got left?
It's back at the top of the round, so whoever has the best initiative.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, if he rolled a 2, do we really want to use our best right now?
Yeah, I mean, you can be strategic.
A +1 person
Would
or a
automatically
0
get it.
or a +0. A +1 person
Yeah.
is ideal because even if you roll a 1, you got a 2 and you tie and we win.
That's fair.
So
well,
Karn,
+0 might be better because then it's only a 1 in 6 chance that things go wrong.
yeah, but this is a point where we really want to get ahead. Like we need to create some separation now.
Yeah.
You know, so
Okay.
I've got Karn and Basil W with a +1. Who else has got a +1?
Orion and John Tor both do.
So
Felix as well.
so one of those 5 I would suggest be the one to roll. Because even if you roll a 1, we're going first.
Right. So it's pretty much automatic whether one way or the other.
Yeah. So whose do we want to use up out of the 5?
I said you go with the -1 that is Felix and really run your odds on that one.
We could. But I mean, we got 5 of us with a +1.
Yeah. Just
We
one.
create this. Let's create the separation now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So who's rolling? Who's
Okay.
technically rolling?
Technically, Orion will. Then.
Okay. Orion. Gotcha. All right.
I mean, we win anyway, but I rolled 4. There you go.
Sweet.
You guys are up first. I've described what's going on.
Okay, I got a question before we get into this because John Tor may actually get a clue. That would be a fun one. What is the range of control water? And I have to ask because I got the description I have did not give a range.
Okay.
And I looked at the, and it's a non-standard spell.
Correct. Yeah, it's one that
So
I would. You are not in range of any of the stream or the waterfall or anything at this point.
okay, how high is that cliff? Is the interesting
60.
thing.
It's 60 feet.
John Tor's going to get a brilliant idea, and it may be really stupid in the long run, but he will sort of angle towards Karn realizing that they're going to have they ain't climbing down. They ain't exactly climbing down the cliff. And he will say out loud, mind you, he's still running. If we jump, I may be able to use control water to soften your landing. It gives us an option.
So you're telling Karn that? Are you in full retreat mode?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's basically in full retreat, but he's going to try to angle the direction that he sees Karn and the horse going. He doesn't remember exactly where the water is, but there's a lake down there somewhere. Have we gained a little bit of a gap?
I would say John Tor has the biggest distance between him and the apes right now, and he will have a greater distance. He is ahead of everybody.
Because he is full out running.
Right.
All righty. Well, how much of a gap does Orion have?
It goes John Tor, then the horse with the 3 people, then Karn, and then who's left? Orion and Basil Wilberforce. That second group that is kind of clustered together because everybody was stopping, picking up people, handing stuff off, whereas John Tor's just running.
Yep, gotcha. Well, I don't think we're actually going to get out of here without slowing them down further. So Orion is going to take the moment to turn around and cast another entangle on that damn cluster of crossbowmen.
Okay.
Who hurt several of us. And then for the rest of his turn, run as best he can.
Okay. That works for me. I'm going to roll D6 to see how many you can get.
Okay. The range is 80, so I should.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I wasn't going to ask what the range was because I was afraid it wasn't much, but 80 works. So 6. So you get all of them have clustered together, which is not a very good tactical maneuver on their part.
We're fleeing in one direction. If they want to actually follow us, they can't exactly scatter much.
Right. Okay, so I gotta roll 6 times here. Save versus spell. So I have to roll over. So there's 2 failures.
Okay.
4 failures.
Nice.
And 1 guy makes it. So 5 out of the 6 are entangled. Nice work. There you go.
Yeah, really.
Okay. That's Orion, John Tor, Karn, and Basil Wilberforce. You see the ape soldiers, like you see all the vines and stuff come up as they're like getting ready to fire, unload some more crossbow shots, and they start grabbing them. And they're like pulling against it.
Run for your lives, save yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just full on run like hell.
Okay, Basil Wilberforce is, I would say, in full retreat then.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. What about
So
Karn?
is Karn with the horse.
Karn with the horse taken off. Gotcha.
Yeah. Karn with the horse is responsible for 3 lives other than his own right now.
Okay.
4 lives. The horse plus 3 others.
Yeah.
So, yeah, taken off. We go to Felix, who has entered the water.
Just keep going as fast as I can.
Okay, so you're moving down this stream in the water. Are you like hunkered down low? Like, are you swimming?
It is.
Well, you don't have armor, so
yeah,
right? You
it's
can't wear armor.
probably faster to swim in this scenario. So sure, I will swim. Do I need to make like a strength check?
Swimming. I'll let you do strength or dex because swimming could be either or. I would say.
Oh, easily past that one.
Okay, yeah. So you're just kind of swimming along this stream, making your way towards the waterfall, making your way towards the colonnade. Basil, Bessex.
Keep trying to get through.
All right, roll a d12.
4.
You come out near some like a couple trees and some stones, and you're fairly close to the water. Give me a D6 roll.
2.
Okay, so you come out near the water. You can kind of see the lake, and it's a little bit swampy. Your boots are sticking in the mud.
Okay, so I'm looking like northwards,
Yeah, northeast.
northeast. Okay, so then he's gonna he's gonna make his way towards, the southeast.
Yeah, so yeah, you see where the colonnade is because it's lit up, and you can make your way in the mud towards there's a small footbridge. You can make your way to the stream if that's your plan, is to get in the water and swim.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you do that. All right, no problem. The earth elemental comes running. Of course, the soldiers are all stuck are all tangled up, except for one. And the earth elemental will come running and basically runs right up to Orion and just goes past him because he's not Karn stone.
Nice.
Yeah.
But there is one.
Don't we all run a little bit faster than that thing?
I mean, you're outpacing it.
Yeah.
You're outpacing it. But Orion, unfortunately, there is one crossbowman who did not get entangled who will shoot at you. And he takes his shot. And unfortunately, that's an at 20. But
Ooh,
you do have a hustle point. You can make me re-roll.
Hustle point, hustle
Okay.
point, hustle point.
Okay.
If ever.
All right, I'll re-roll. So yeah, I assume 11 doesn't hit.
Correct.
All right, hustle point. Let's see. That was good use of a hustle point. And I rolled a nat 1. See how perfect that was?
Nice.
A nat 20 turns into a nat 1.
Yeah,
He's
which
got
turns
me
into
dead to right. Dead to right. Absolutely dead to right. And then the mud splatters in his eye and he crossbow goes.
yeah. All right, give me a
winging out into the
D100 roll. Let's see if this how much this benefits you.
Okay. 1 second.
Crit fail chart. Let's see if we get to use this or not. All right, roll D100.
71.
Okay, well, let's see. That's what you need to be rolling. All right, roll a D4.
24.
Roll a 4. Not bad. He goes to shoot you, he's avoided these vines and he's going to shoot, and he steps a little bit to kind of balance himself to get a really good shot because he's about to take your ass out. And as he steps, he kind of turns and you see him tweak his back and he goes, oh, and he drops his crossbow and he's like, oh, my back. Oh.
Trains his back.
Yeah. Hey.
I could just see 3 eyes chalking up remedial training, more
Yeah.
remedial training.
Yep. Yeah. So the critical fail was you pull something, and that's what he did. And that is turns. So he is out for 4 turns, which if you've hurt your back, I'm being generous. It should be
yeah.
Days. All right, so we got to make some saves for these guys. I got to make some strength rolls as they try to break out of the Entangle, that's all they can do. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th guy. So they're all breaking out, which is not a surprise, but that's botchy time, right? I mean, that's all they can do.
Cost me half a turn of running, but they got a full turn out. So
The Earth Elemental is there making his way towards Karn. He's probably not going to catch you. The Ape Soldier's trying to break out. The third Eyed Ape is assessing the situation and planning some nefarious plot against you, of course. And let's see what Virgil does, because I got to roll randomly. Okay, so for some reason Virgil has hacked on the poor lecturer, and then he turns, his eyes go wide as he sees the Earth Elemental, and Virgil starts running after the Earth Elemental. and goes and attacks him.
Go, Virgil.
Nice, nice.
What the
And that
hell?
would be
This guy insane?
I think so. Yeah.
well, he's not in his right mind. He swings with his scythe and misses. So as he runs past Orion, you can see he's got like a conical hat on, and he's carrying a scythe. He's got the old discards from Salome, and he just runs up to the Earth Elemental and swings at him as the Earth Elemental is, trying to go after Karn.
Really, if it weren't so damn deadly, this would be a fucking Three Stooges episode.
100%.
All right, so yeah, let's make another initiative roll. We might be running. Okay, I rolled a 3.
One of the plus ones.
I guess Karn can roll one. I got 2 + 1, 3.
All right, you're up. Okay, that was Karn. All right, you're up. You will notice that Orion is back. He's actually behind the Earth Elemental at this point, and Virgil, who's attacking him.
Karn and Basil W will not notice at all as they are focused on running.
Okay, full retreat. All right.
Yeah, Karn is making sure the horse isn't outpacing him.
Right. Yeah, you're.
Yeah, but we're in full retreat. He's trying to make sure we're staying with our friends. But yeah.
How big is this bastard of an Earth Elemental?
It's technically huge. Take that for what I mean. I don't know, 8-9 feet tall. I don't know what I described. He's big. So Karn. So I probably not Basil, because Basil's focused. Give me a D6 roll for Karn.
6.
Okay, so you make your beating feet running. Karn and Basil. Orion, John Tor.
Just not seeing much to do. Orion decides he's being the last of the party. He needs to do full retreat this time.
Okay. Yeah, you run. Yep, no problem. You're running past them.
And John Tor doesn't have any reason not to keep booking. I mean,
Gotcha.
So probably pretty much the same.
So yeah, you guys are just running down this road. There doesn't seem to be anybody on this pass. There's some trees and stuff, but there doesn't seem to be anybody out walking or anything right at this point in time. Felix and Basil Bessick still making your way into the water.
Yeah.
I think at one point, Felix, you'll run into Basil.
Okay.
Not literally, but
Right.
Where's everybody else?
Felix just says, I don't know. Let's keep going. You got a boat to catch.
Hopefully everybody else makes it. And just like trudging through.
yeah, you see him swimming. I mean, you can get in the water and swim if you want, unless you've got like armor on. That probably wouldn't be a good idea.
He does have chainmail on.
All right, so you're making your way there. You see the ape soldiers around, like trying to. They're all entangled, and let's see. It is technically their turn, so they are. I'm going to give them a roll here as they try to make their way. Try to at least get on the path. They just let's see 1. Look at these rolls. Yeah. So they get tripped up by the caltrops that get dropped. A couple of them step on them like I will say next time you end up in Lindbergh, you'll be like outlawed. You can't sell them anymore. You hear behind you, ow, oh, what the hell is that? So they're not able to take a shot because it's kind of a windy road and there's trees, and they're helping the other guy up who's hurt his back. The third Eyed Ape he's assessing the situation. The lecturer sees the third Eyed Ape as he's bleeding and looking for his book like he's. Should I start from the beginning? Um,
Ugh.
and let's see what Virgil does. I got a
Oh, man.
D6 here. Virgil just kind of, as he swings, I guess he realizes, why am I attacking this huge rock thing? This is probably a bad idea. And kind of just stands there and looks at it. The earth elemental, well, it did attack him, so the earth elemental will turn and smack Virgil because he's impeding his progress.
Good.
And I rolled a 2. So what is Vert? Yeah, actually that misses him.
Nice.
It like he swings at him, almost takes his hat off as he grabs it. He swings, he's got that two-handed scythe, and he swings, and you see the scythe like vanish out of his hand and grabs his hat as it almost comes off, and the thing swings at him. And that's that scene. So I'll make a hard cut. Well, you guys will all pace them. If you keep going the rate you're going, they're not going to catch you. We go to the ropes. If you're on full retreat, yeah, I mean, unless anybody stops to do anything else, you're just beating feet, the 4 of you. You will get to the ropes. Now, since it's a pressure situation, you can either A, take a turn and just successfully navigate the rope without a roll, which I would advise not doing because in 10 minutes, they'll probably find you. Or B, you will make a dex roll under your dex, and you will shimmy down the rope. If you fail that roll, I will roll a d6 to determine at the height you fall.
Okay.
So if I roll a 1, it means you just fell 10 feet. And it's 1d6 damage per 10 feet.
How are Karn and Basil Wilberforce planning on getting our friends down?
I don't know. That's
Basil's been through here before. He knows this area, and I was planning on having him leading him on the roads to where the mouth of the river or the stream, whatever, leads to the sea, and trying to catch up with the boat there.
I assume you went to the ropes, or did you there's actually a path that leads down that you can go up.
Basil Wilberforce was planning on leaving Karn with the horse down that path.
Okay, so you're taking
trying to get there to that mouth. Yeah.
You're taking the switchback road all the way to the mouth where the sea is to where the boat is. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. He wants to try to get there because he doesn't know that Karn can dismiss this horse. He's Karn with the horse with their 3 friends loaded up on the horse, thinking we can't get them down the road.
This is the horse. Who's going to carry the people? Well, I guess we could, but can you dismiss the horse?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I added that. Yeah. I thought you could. I added it because I don't need any extra fantasy horse genocide in my games. I don't care for it. So.
Well, amongst other things, Cuthbert is in actual history, Saint Cuthbert is an animal lover.
Yeah.
So Karn would not abandon that horse. So he would be stuck on this continent with that horse. Otherwise.
Yeah, and kind of like out of game as a GM, it's like that's a neat thing to have, but if you're going through dungeons and doing stuff, it's like you've got the horse, and then what I got to worry about it. It's just kind of I think for a paladin it would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Orion and John Tor, you could go to the ropes, you have the same circumstance, or you could just not worry about rolling and follow Basil Wilberforce as he runs all the way to the shore.
Orion feels like he's probably going to have to provide some other backup. And he knows that we left a couple of guys behind who know about, our plans. So, maybe they can get to the raft. So Orion and Jontor will be following Karn and Basil Wilberforce and the rest with one caveat. Now, is this area of the path still sort of marshy?
No, at this point, no. There's some trees, scattered trees, and
Damn.
there are buildings.
Now,
Don't
Karn
have-
has no clue there are rafts and ropes involved. He's got no clue about it, but we might need some of those rafts to be able to get out to the boat. So think about that.
Well, Basil Wilberforce knows about them.
Yeah.
And, and I'm figuring the guys who are going downstream are going to end up with the raft. Contour, stay with me. Here's the plan. The Earth Elemental isn't after us. We're going to meet it right at the edge where when it starts trying to go down the path and try to overbalance it and send it flying off, because otherwise we got no way to beat this thing. Situate yourself so you're right next to the Earth Elemental. We're both going to do this. Situate ourselves so you're right next to the Earth Elemental when it gets to the edge. Then we're going to take our chance to kick it off. And if that fails, we run like hell. Come to think of it, if that fails, we'll go to the ropes and hope that our attacks on it make it follow us for at least a short bit. So there's our way. There's our plan to get rid of the Earth Elementals. Jontor hears a litany of, "I did not get in this to be a hero. I wanted the wine and women. That's why I became a bard. Why am I doing this shit? How did I get in this situation?" And Jontor's like, "Dude, you're still smarter than me. I'm still working for Gruel."
Okay, I think what I did for like a push attack is you can roll under your strength or dex for both of you. You both have to succeed to knock him over. But that will do no damage, but it will knock him over. If you actually want to damage him, it's going to be an attack roll. You should both would have to succeed on.
No, we just want to push him.
Okay, so John Tor and Orion pick strength or dex. That's fine. Roll under it, and if you do that, you'll knock him prone. He'll fall down.
Dex, we're both better at dex.
Okay, that's fine.
Well, the idea is not to knock him prone, but to knock him over the edge so he takes a good 66 fall.
Well, he's running up to so it's basically like a bunch of switchbacks, the road is. So you're not going to get him to go. You'll knock him down and he'll kind of roll down the path. He's not going to go over the edge.
Darn it. Oh, well. Okay. Slow him down.
Yep.
I roll an 11 and a 14, which is under both of our dexes. So
okay,
we have successfully tripped up an Earth Elemental.
Yeah, he does because he's not paying attention. He don't care about you guys. And you surprise him and just kind of push him over as he hesitates a little bit, and he kind of rolls. He starts rolling down the switchback, and just kind of leans up against like a stone, like a big stone that's on one of the sides, so you don't completely go over the edge. It kind of hits that and moves it. Grumbles, "Peltard stone." All right, and then you guys are going to book it for the ropes.
Yeah, we're going to book it for the ropes.
Okay. All right. So for Felix and Basil Bessex, you guys are making your way, I would assume, as stealthily as you can in the marsh and in the water, all the way down to where near where the waterfall is.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so the soldiers are kind of distracted because they are looking for everybody else. The third Eyed Ape is the only guy around, and he's kind of distracted by this dumbass lecturer who wants to chat to him. I'm going to roll a d6. On a 1, he actually will spot somebody over there. Other than that was pretty close, but it was a 2. So the lecturer, even though he's injured, successfully has distracted him enough that you guys make your way past the colonnade, and you kind of go underneath
Uh-huh.
It's like a little bit of an archway, and I could say that Basil Bessics, you'd get in the water. You don't have to swim. You can kind of wade through the water because it's only a couple feet deep. You
Yeah.
make your way all the way down to where you notice you're in the swamp. You're wet, and you see John, Tor, and Orion making their way to where the two ropes. Well, I should say, the various sets of ropes are.
Yep.
And as you look down the 60 feet, you can see there are two rowboats right near the lake. So those gray things are actually buildings, and they sit on the lake and kind of float. But
Yeah.
there's a couple boats that are right on the shore. There's a couple guys just kind of standing there. Looks like one smoking a pipe. And the four of you are there.
So we still have to get down the cliff.
Right. It is a dex check. As Dustin knows, these can be very lethal.
Well, Felix, even with his -2, managed to roll under. So
Okay, so yeah,
How
Felix.
How close are we to the water?
Yeah, no, you're not. I mean, are you thinking you're gonna like jump into the water?
Considering the idea, yes.
I would leave it. I would roll a d6, probably on a 2 and a 6. A 1 or a 2, you could land in the water because doesn't directly go up there. It's kind of it's probably there's probably like some rock. It doesn't
Okay.
abut right against it.
I rolled a 4, so no chance. So I just got to make the dex. Give me a sec.
Okay.
A 6 and a 15. Unfortunately, a 15 is Orion's dex. So
Okay. So 50. So that you did not make it.
15 is on the edge. It fails.
Yeah, I mean, you got to roll under the number.
Mhm.
Great. Okay.
All right.
So
I-
one, I already used. We've already established this one hustle point per player, not per character. So I've
Correct.
already used that.
Yep.
As Orion realizes he's sort of failing, he is going to attempt to kick off towards the water in an effort to soften the landing. So
Right.
you can let me know if that's even possible, but I gotta try,
Give me a d6 roll. Roll a 1.
Not holding my breath. Not holding my breath. Nope.
Okay. So you tried to kick off. You did not. I'm going to roll a d6 to see the distance that you fall.
Crap on a cry.
We want to roll low. 3. So middle of the roll. So 3d6 damage.
No
They kill
numbers.
me.
They're all ones. That could be not too bad.
Wow. 4 damage.
Wow.
I'm alive.
That's miraculous.
3 hit points, but I'm alive.
So Felix goes down. John Tor goes down. Orion goes down
Goes
about
down.
30 feet, slips, bangs off against the wall, cartwheels, miraculously lands almost on his feet, but slips and fall. He could and then Basil Bessics, you've seen what to do and what not to do.
Can he make it? Oh man,
Is it hustle point time?
it's a hustle point. That was
Oh,
that would, if it wasn't for the minus, that would have been good.
oh,
All right, that's a 3, so that's a success.
okay. So the guy smoking the pipe chuckles as you come over as Orion comes limping over. They get you guys in the boat and they start rowing you out on this lake, like down the river.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for Karn to see if we can see like a horse, with the rest of the rest of our crew, just like galloping through the streets.
Okay.
So kind of keep an open eye.
We'll,
All right.
we'll tell them that some friends couldn't come down this way, and are probably going to meet us closer to the path there.
Yeah, they don't seem to mind. They're wearing their cutoff shorts and sandals, and you see they got their tattoos and they have no hair. And they
Yeah.
just kind of grumble at that, and they kind of row you down. You go past a couple buildings that have like walkways over them, and there's a couple people out walking and like standing on
Yeah.
the walkways as you go by.
So one of the first things that Felix does when he gets on the boat is finally gets rid of the robes that he has been like still
Yeah.
stuck in.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, these are gonna get us killed. And toss in the water.
Yeah, so you guys make it all the way out. They row. The ship is docked right there at like the first dock. The ship stands out from its, covered in like some kind of black pitch. And you begin to board the ship. And Karn and who is Karn? Karn and Basil Wilberforce and the injured group. You make your way down that road. And you up to the dock, you notice the ship. Basil would immediately. There's some couple people. You get some kind of looks because you're leading a horse with 3 people on there, and one guy's got an arrow sticking out of the back of his knee, and he's bleeding. There's blood. They're all like,
Orion sees that and says, Karn, do you have any more power of healing left? Clintok needs it desperately before he bleeds out. Because he's negative and the others are banged up but positive.
Karn will lay hands on him for 4 points.
Yes.
okay. No, so technically you have 4 hit points. You don't go. The only thing that the negative is worth is the initial to see how bad the injury is.
Right.
So you're at 4 hit points. You're at -4. You're disabled. You got a bad leg, and you've also got a nasty cut in your chest.
Yeah. It's a bad day for Felix.
Yes.
For Clintok.
They kind of help you. Captain Bosun's kind of takes a side look and sees, and he comes over and kind of helps you. Clintok like puts an arm around you because he sees that you're like hobbling.
Yeah.
And he reaches down and jerks that crossbow bolt out of your leg. He's like, "You don't need that," and chucks it over the side.
Do I need it to make a save on whether I scream at that moment?
Sure, if you want to, yeah, go for it.
So this
no,
guy's at a dock here that we can actually just walk up onto?
Yeah, he's docked right there with some other ships. Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were going to have to take rafts out to the boat, and that's why I was worried about the horse.
No. I mean, no, he seems to be docked right here.
Can he take my horse with him?
He kind of looks sideways at that, but like, yeah, I guess so. I mean, you've paid.
Karn would rather not dismiss him if he can't. I thought he was going to have to like leave him there because he couldn't put the horse on a raft and ride the raft out to the.
No, he's fine. Yeah, he's fine.
Out to the boat.
Clintok winces, but bears through the pain.
Okay. He's like, "You're pretty tough. I would have screamed like a bitch at that." He's like, "Oh, hopefully you were successful." As you're limping on, and you get to the ship, and the crew is grabbing all the ropes, and it's like, "We need to get out of here because you can." Because up where you can see the lecture hall, like the lights. There's some lights on it. It's a huge building, and you can see there's some light. You can kind of see some commotion. People, like little tiny ants, like running around. Like there seems to be some sort of kerfuffle going on in that area. As the whistle, you hear a bunch of whistles and stuff like that come echoing through Lindbergh. And he's like, "Yeah, let's get out of here." And he starts to shove off, and he's like, "Well, I guess you could try to get that horse down below, or keep it up top here, at least for right now."
If he doesn't have feet or anything, I mean, obviously I can dismiss him, but
yeah, he said, "No, that's fine. You should he said you can go ahead and get down below if you desire, and once you go down the steps, just turn to the left. There's a small little area for you guys to rest. There's some bedrolls and some water and a little bit of rations.
Hammocks, maybe. Ships usually use hammocks.
There you go, hammocks. There's some hammocks. That's fine. You guys are all banged up. Is anybody staying up top? Are you getting down below, or?
No, hiding
Well,
I believe is the best option here.
Wherever my horse will be the most happy, Karn will stay. Basil will go down below.
nope. John Tor may or may not think of this himself, but Orion looks at him and goes and drags him over to the captain and says, he can control water for a little while. Just make sure he's pushing things the way you want him to push. And
Okay.
and looks at John Tor and says, but keep your head low while you do that. So
Okay.
John Tor is going to use his control water, help move the ship out faster.
Yeah, he is impressed with this and appreciates that very much. And yeah, that would absolutely help you get ahead of anything that the Ape Empire can send after you. And the ship just kind of moves out into the bay. And he kind of looks, gives kind of a side look at a couple of the people who are paralyzed, like, shit. And he says, I'll be down. So you guys walk down the board, the steps. And right to the left, there's a small light. Looks like there's a lantern, but it looks like it's magically lit. It doesn't look like there's a flame that's sitting in the corner. And you can see there's some hammocks and a couple barrels and some like rations, some food, some like dried meat or some cheese or something sitting there. And as you step down in the middle is a bunch of barrels, and you can see that black pitch is on the outside. So this is probably the barrels of that stuff. And in the far corner, like the end of where you guys are, there's another group, and you can see a lantern lit, and there's a blonde-headed girl who's just like laughing, and as she's like, and you can see she's holding her crossbow, and she's like, yeah, well, I finally got one of them. Yeah. And that's a good place to take a break.
Son of a
shit.
bitch. All right. We're going to have to kill her.
So you're on the Mourning Fog too, headed out into the ocean. Just come downstairs, down whatever the below deck is called in a ship. I'm sure there's some special term. Behold. But you're there. And you notice some people across the way that vaguely look familiar.
Okay, Orion is just done with this. He will say in a very loud voice, oh, if it isn't our favorite co-conspirators, and he'll take a step forward and switch to, low and menacing voice. You will shut up and you will not fight us, because we will name you co-conspirators. And by the time you get out of it, any actual student status or organization in the Ape Empire will piss all over you. And if that's not enough, you couldn't get us with two other groups fighting for us at the same time. But now we're all together and in your face. And even if you start a fight, remember that there are sailors who won't know who's in the right or wrong and will be fighting you also. So you can stop boasting, sit down, and shut up.
So
Can you tell Ryan's a little irritated?
So the woman with the crossbow listens intently. Oh, she says, oh, you thought I was a student? Uh-huh, just like you're a reenactor. Get that? They thought I was a student.
Yeah, well, the rest of it works.
So the other one that looked like Liberace stands up. He's like, I should have you pay for this damage. This is a rare find, but I'm sure with what we were paid, I'll be able to take care of it.
Oh, and by the way, it was a very confusing fight. We could easily testify that you guys were shooting some of the other people there. It'd be hard to tell otherwise.
And you see somebody come into the light missing some teeth, is like, you think we're worried about the Ape Empire? I don't think so.
And Orion will look at these people who are completely nonplussed and say, and switch tones completely and say, "You guys are pretty unflappable. I am impressed."
Basil Wilberforce is hiding in the shadows as best as he possibly can.
Does Clintok overhear this conversation at all?
Yeah, well, yeah, you're awake. I'm sure you do.
He doesn't do anything more than pull out his compass to wonder if they got paid in gemstones.
Yeah. No, the compass does not head that way.
Oh, by the way, this change in tone was deliberately trying to scare them also.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Okay.
except for people like actors, the other types of personalities who completely switch their tone like that, just at the drop of a hat, are sociopaths. So they may not know that, but it should be at least a little disturbing to them.
And as you look, there's a collection of them over there. There it looks to be about at least 5 or 6, and maybe a couple that are out of sight, but you can kind of catch their dark, shadowy, because there's just one light. So they're just kind of laying. Same deal with you guys. They're laying in hammocks, just kind of chatting. The captain comes down because he has heard something. He says, "Hey, what's going on down here?"
Oh, we're off. We just checking to see if we have acquaintances in common. That's all.
Just paid passengers like you guys. Don't be starting anything down here. I'm just and then he looks over to Zofan and Tamul and he says, "Oh, they're not moving. What happened?"
Really long story. Bad drugs is the short answer.
What are you talking about? Bad drugs? What did they get wrapped up in something at the Tough Nut Oasis or something? Or somebody slip them a drink?
Yeah, somebody gave them something that they didn't like.
Well, we are currently assessing their condition. But they may require medical care at some point.
I've seen this kind of paralysis before. It's usually done by the secret police of the Ape Empire. And if they're not treated within a couple days, they'll be dead. So if it's that or just a drink, then it's two different things.
So hypothetically, it's this paralysis. What's the cure?
Well, when the secret police do it, they usually do it so they can capture somebody, and one of their clerics neutralizes whatever this poison is. But
Great.
if you want to sneak back into Lindbergh and try to find somebody to cure it, you can try that. Or yeah, you got a couple days. And
Was Karn able to get his horse down here and secure it and all that?
yeah, we can say you got the horse down there. Yeah.
Okay. So he says, is it like a disease or something like that?
It's a poison. It's the Drekki plant, or they call it the dragon plant.
Wow, so Karn's ability to cure disease isn't going to help at all.
It causes paralysis, and then after a certain amount of time, the person either fights it off or it kills them. Unless you obviously cure it.
God damn. If it isn't one thing, it's another.
Basil Wilberforce goes over and grabs his bamboo flask and goes over to Zofan and tries to pour some of that. He put that healing potion in the bamboo flask last time.
Right.
We had to roll for that. He tries to pour that some of that down the throat of Zofan.
Okay.
Like,
Roll.
strokes his throat and sees if it can help him any.
Yeah, you'll get the hit points, but he's still paralyzed.
Yeah, he's got 5 hit points, so he's not.
He could use some.
He gave him 4 + 1, 5 hit points back.
Okay,
Well, I
so you
didn't know
got-
if the healing potion would help with the paralysis. Or
right.
not.
So give me a D6 roll since you used your flask.
Okay. 5.
He's like, Captain Bosun's like, well, it's not good. I mean, none of the places right offhand I know I can get to in a couple days, but there's one place that I can get to. That you'd be able. I don't know how well I'm going to be received there. It's been some time since I've been there, but they should have healing potions. They should have a way to break the paralysis.
What kind of place is this?
Well, technically, it's a place that they say doesn't exist. It's called Tarkos. Some of you may have heard of Tarkos. It's sort of like it's a city that sailors talk about. It's like on the ocean. It's a mystical city that sailors will talk about, and it's like story. You know, they'll tell stories about it, and nobody's like, nobody believes you. He's like, I've been there once. Hopefully, they'll remember who I am.
I
But
would ask the fan if he's been there before, but
He just blinks at you.
Zophan's a acrobat, right?
Yeah.
And the other point, and then the other paralyzed person is what's his
A
name?
mage, Tamul.
Tamul. And I've seen Tamul do some weird shit. So, well, you may have to run his character for a minute or two here if this works.
Well, he's paralyzed, so he can't do anything.
Well, there may be a way around that.
Okay.
I will take off my cloak of feathers and carefully put it on them, and sort of, I will ask the people around me to sort of scream so that they don't hear what's being said, and I'll lean in and tell Tamul is, the cloak might let you transform. However, you'll still transform back, but at least you'll have a few minutes to talk to us and maybe let us know if you have any ideas or magic that can help. Think about turning into a large bird.
You put the feather cloak on him in his paralyzed state, and he blinks at you in great hope and anticipation that he will turn into a bird and speak to you. It doesn't happen.
And it doesn't work? Well, I had to try. It's a completely different body.
No, that makes sense.
It's a completely different body, so I was hoping we could, de-transform him, and maybe he could even do magic in that form, but who knows? Oh well, I'll take my cloak back. I'm gonna need it since I have all of 3 hit points, and if those other bastards in the hold attack, I'm gonna need to go bird just to keep up for a minute, for a round or two. I look around and it's like, guys, I don't have any better clues. So you want to try Tarkos?
I think and that seems to be our best option.
yeah, I don't think we have a better option at this point.
Yeah. I'm always up for seeing mystical and strange places, even if we usually end up getting run out of them, but whatever.
And Captain Bosun's like, yeah, I think that's our best bet, and Bethel should buy us some time with the Ape Empire. They're not going to find it. He looks over to the other group. He's like, hey, Olivia, I need to talk to you. And he begins to walk that way. And then the girl who was wearing who had the crossbow and has got luxurious blonde hair, looks a bit older now, and she is not wearing her school vest, but she actually looks like she's maybe aged like 20 years. She comes walking up to him, and they kind of meet, and she's like, yeah, I wouldn't mind a trip to Tarkos. That's great. She's kind of like looking past him, looking at you guys. She's like, and they're talking, and He's like, okay. And she goes back. She's like, well, we're headed to Tarkos, people. He's like, all right, well, Tarkos, we should be there in about a day. So make sure you get some rest and just we'll be fine. The Ape Empire's not gonna find me.
Clintok looks over to Sofan and just says, get some shut eye.
He blinks. His eyes close.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure to like carefully park them in a couple of hammocks, and you know, in a brotherly way, you know, adjust their clothing so that there are no, you know, lumps or creases that'll bother them.
The evening will pass. If
Karn
ahead.
tries to find out if he can find anything that he can groom his horse with.
like a brush or something.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you got to groom your horse and feed him oats and stuff like that. Like, Karn's an animal lover. He's part of, you know, he follows Cuthbert. He's an animal lover. He's going to treat this horse good.
Especially since the horse got him out of shit.
That too.
You're kind of asking, you know, the group. You see somebody come walking up to you, Karn. You don't recognize. Well, no, you don't recognize them at all. And he's like, he reaches into his pouch and he hands you a brush.
Nice.
He's a balding. He looks like he's a balding older man. He says, I respect the man that takes his horse into battle and takes his horse with him and takes care of him. Here you go. You can have it.
I do believe you can judge a person by the way that they treat animals. The more helpless the animal and the better they treat them, the better the person is.
Yes. And he like reaches into his pouch. He's got like some oats or something. He's like, can I feed your horse?
Absolutely. Thank you, dear friend. The blessings of Cuthbert upon you.
Oh, you're one of the Cuthbertites.
Of course.
You're the Karn Stone?
I don't know if "the" is the proper descriptor, but I am Karnstone.
Well, look, no hard feelings, right?
Why would I have hard feelings? You have given me a brush for my horse and wonderful food for it.
Yeah.
Orion sort of drapes his hand over Karn's shoulder and say, they might have taken a couple of swings at us back there in the melee. That's why he's saying that.
I might have. I did. And I was pretty successful. But
oh, well, why would you help us if you were attacking us?
because that's over now.
So why were you attacking us?
Well, we were paid to do it, and that's what we do.
Oh, mercenaries.
Of course.
There's a place in this world for mercenaries, but have you heard of the ways of Cuthbert?
Oh, God.
I have. Maybe in the morning I'll be up to listening.
Oh, I do believe you have the kind of heart that eventually could be swayed in that way. Being good to animals is a good sign for your soul, my son.
Kind of looks at you because you called him son and he's older than you. Yeah, well, you're definitely an honorable man, and your reputation definitely precedes you. So hope you rest well, your horse does well, and hopefully we'll be on the same side next time.
A good way to make sure that you stay on the same side as me is funds, is it not?
Of course, yeah. I just do what the boss says.
Oh, well, perhaps in the coming light, we can have a conversation about this, and perhaps we can make sure that we stay on the same side. We are, after all children of Cuthbert.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Sure are. Well,
Deathbird keep you and give you a good night's sleep.
oh, okay. Well, take care. And he walks back to his little group over there.
I stay up way late. Karn stays up way late and grooming his horse and tending its wounds.
Okay. The accommodations are fairly comfortable. You are at sea, so go ahead and roll to get your HP, whatever HP recovery is, 1d4 per night. Yeah.
Yep.
As Felix wakes up in the morning, he feels much better,
Nice.
as the blood loss condition is now gone.
3 points back to
So you can
Basil.
get to your max HP.
Okay.
Your burn condition still exists.
All right, good to know. Still prevents me from wearing armor for a few.
Correct. Yeah. You're -1 now.
Okay, cool.
So you're feeling you're feeling a little bit better. Still rough. Everybody's still kind of banged up. Well, yeah, definitely banged up. Clintok is now he's disabled. He has half movement. I'm gonna say -1. And you had a negative, let's see, you took a concussion. So you're at -3. It goes as well as it could be on a ship. You guys are out the next day.
The weather.
How did you know? Yeah, I got to do the weather. What's the weather like today?
And now.
Now for our weather.
I'm going to suggest Karn heal the people who are down the worst using his lay on hands. You know, John Tor is full. Orion is still only at 6 hit points, but I don't know how badly off other people are.
So I need a D12 roll from somebody.
6.
6. Okay. A little bit of rain and some fog, 50 degrees.
Does a night's rest also heal a horse 1d4?
You know what? Yes, it does. It is the 22nd day of King's Choice. As you guys are out in the middle of the ocean, you don't see anything, like no ships, no nothing. And bosun is at the helm, and the crew is out there working in their shorts and sandals and their tattoos, and he's got like a sextant, right? He's got that out, and he's got like a chart that he's got in front of him, and he's kind of looking, and the crew looks very skeptical. Like you can see that they're murmuring. I'm going to guess that some of you went up top, get some fresh air. Also, when you're down here, when it's light, you realize that there are portholes on the ship, right? The portholes, you look, it's like, that's not, it looks almost like crystal. It looks really thick, and it distorts the light. It doesn't look like glass.
Interesting.
So you step on, and the whole deck is covered with this like black pitch. It's not sticky. It's all dried, and it has a little bit of a give. So you get a little bit of a dust that comes up as you're walking on it. And somebody's up there, the crew, like doing some of the deck, that some of it may have come off. And he's like, he got a brush, and he's brushing it on there. Captain Bosun's like, we should be close. And as the ship kind of turns, and all of a sudden the fog that you saw moves, and in front of you is a city of crystal, like crystal buildings, and it's refracting. It looks like a rainbow has covered the entire city of the entire spectrum, and it is magnificent. He's like, there it is, Tarkos.
Nice. So I want to just say that Clintok has been doing as much surveilling of the mercenaries as possible while he's below deck, and he doesn't ever go above deck during this.
Okay, so surveilling. You would surveil that there are 8 of them, and they pretty. Let's see. Yeah. So you're gonna say, do you actually have 8 mercenaries statted up? Yes, I do. It's very easy. The majority of them, when you put your little they got magic items.
Yeah.
More than one.
Good to know.
Okay. You do notice that the one who seemed to be in charge does not,
Oh, interesting.
but her cohort seem to.
Yeah. I will make a mental inventory of all of their magic items.
Very good. Okay. And you do notice that there is a guy putting on his armor who looks very familiar. Like you saw him up close and personal.
Oh,
And he puts on, and before he puts on his helmet, you realize he has a bald head.
all right. Good to know.
And he's the same one that came over and gave Karn the brush.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they've got some there's some tall buildings. Like I said, it's bathed in like crystal. Everything is crystal, and as you get close to the city, though, it's weird. There you see people in paddle boats, close to the city because the water is not very choppy, but they're in those paddle boats that you move with your feet, and they're
Yeah.
wearing like very long coats and top hats, and the women have dresses with parasols. But as you get close, you can realize that, like, whoa, is that guy in a top hat? Is that a goblin? And is that woman and the woman looks like a skeleton. She's got like a wig on, and she kind of looks over and smiles, and they're just like, it's really strange.
All right.
And you come up to the dock, put the gangplank out, and they're all dressed like 1890s kind of attire, like England, very
Victorian
formal.
England?
Huh?
Victorian England?
Yeah, there we go. Victorian England, yeah. And you realize that there is like somebody looks like a zombie, like their skin's falling off next to somebody who looks very elven and tall. And they just kind of stand there like looking at the boat like, what is this abomination that is pulled up here?
Uh-oh.
On the dock is this 8-foot tall crystal statue of, it looks like an elf. Like if you've ever seen, maybe your characters, well, poor Zofan, he's paralyzed. If you've ever seen a sea elf, and he's given like finger guns, and you see that he is, like, as you get closer, like, what is he on? It's almost looked like he's surfing a mackerel. And it's like sitting prominently on this dock.
Oh, yeah.
And they put the gangplank down, and Captain Bosun gets on, he puts his heavy cloak on, and he walks down, and he's stopped by these guards who are skeletons, and they're wearing armor that looks like flesh, like thick flesh armor, but it kind of glows in this weird crystal light. It almost like glistens, and they kind of stand there like, who are you? And Bosun says, look, I'm Captain Bosun. And they all kind of like, who? And he points to the statue. He says, look, I took him here. And they're like, oh, like you speak of the god of no shirts? And he says, yes, I brought him here. He said, okay, we need to check this. You wait there. So like 2 hours transpire, because what happens is they bring out a cart of tomes, and they're literally going through these tomes, and then all of a sudden they find the page, and they stop and they say, yes, you have been here. That is, you are welcome into the city of Tarkos. They start apologizing profusely. We are so sorry that we have, we cannot believe that you knew the god of no shirts. And then they point to a large building, probably the tallest one here, that's got a peak, and on the peak of it looks like a leviathan. A crystal leviathan is on it, and there's somebody standing up there, and you realize it's the same image, but the guy has a trident in his hand. And he said, that is Hesh, the god of no shirts. He defeated the leviathan that had taken over the city. You brought him here. Yes, you are welcome. And Captain Burmo says, okay, good. I'm glad that's over. He says, well, guys, welcome to Tarkos. This is the place where the land of fairy and shadow meet.
Uh-oh. Cuthbert warns us that we must beware the Fae. But we also should be wary of stepping on their toes.
Well, it's the Fae are the Fae hopefully are the ones that will be able to help us.
Indeed, but they can be kind of
Let's
capricious.
And Orion says, you guys claim, well, actually, he kissed the hag in the real world, and that's what took him to the fairy. So he does actually remember kissing the hag, but he failed to save when coming back. So he doesn't remember anything otherwise. And so instead he will say, yeah, and our, shall we say, the powerful women chasing us might be here or be able to get here.
Good point.
So Captain Bosun says, look, there's a shop called the Silly Lady that is run by an Eldrin woman named May. She has different potions and ointments and stuff. She may be able to help you. I would seek her. He points to, there's kind of like a large there's like a large building where the dock is. Like if you keep walking, you can like go under the building, like the water flows under it. And he points to like, a building that's standing right there. It's like on the second floor. You got to go up some steps. It's like it's called the Silly Lady. He says you could go there. She's the one that helped us last time.
So she's an alchemist or something?
She has different ointments and potions, and I know she helped. And you see there's like a crowd of people now around Captain Bosun. Like there's some elves and there's like a couple goblins and there looks like a ghoulish man. He looks like a ghoul. And they're like, you knew Hesh? And they're like, he's like, yeah, I did. He's like, tell us all about him. It's like, well,
I think we should hurry to this potion shop.
Yep.
Basil
take our
puts
food.
on his best clothes.
Okay.
He puts on his best clothes. He still got his leather armor on, but he puts on his fancy clothes because he feels like he might blend in a little bit better in Victorian England. What's Karn wearing? What did the apes give him to wear?
Well, I'm sure Karn's got like a tunic and some, he's dressed. He's got like a tunic and some like pantaloons and
Okay,
like some sandals or something.
he's going to go.
So what Orion and John Tor will take down one of the hammocks.
Okay.
They will each sort of, since they're ropes, they will each sort of thread each of their spears, one in each side, so that they can then pick up the hammock as a stretcher almost, because it's got a spear on each side with the hammock material between it, and we'll ladle our paralyzed friends in the middle so that we don't have to leave them behind. So improvised stretcher.
The other group makes their way out into the light. Captain Bosun says, look, just a couple hours, just don't get into any trouble. And you can see the other group is 8 people. And they just kind of notice you guys and they just kind of make their way through the crowd to go. He says, there's a tavern over, and he points in a direction. There's a tavern over there, a restaurant. So you guys headed to the Silly Lady?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go up some steps. So as you're walking by all these people, they stop, and then somebody takes out a handkerchief and just covers their mouth, like. And then you realize, who is it? It would be Clint. So Clintok, Karn, Basil. I think it's everybody in the group except for John Tor. you realize you're giving off an odor of mothballs. Like there's just a smell about you.
Huh.
And they're all covering their mouths like, oh, God, disgusting.
Orion will look at one of them who's sort of wrinkling their nose at him and go, we would greatly appreciate quick directions to a bathhouse.
Oh, and there's a skeleton who looks at you and says, oh, I don't think the purest water in this fair city could to wash that off. You've been hag touched. Oh, ooh, wow.
That's not the only thing that has touched us. We could use a little bit of cleanliness, even if it does nothing for the hag.
Not in polite society. Sorry, sir. No, this. Please have some respect.
Well, how does
God.
one get rid of the hag touch then?
Well,
Die.
I'm not familiar in those ways, but I'm sure that there's something Lord Umbrin could do.
Lord Umbrum, thank you.
He is, of course, the fair ruler of Tarkos.
Well, certainly he will. He will help a child as Cuthbert.
And then
You have not heard of Cuthbert?
We have. We choose not to acknowledge him.
Oh, that is a grave mistake. I proceed to try to bore him with tales of Cuthbert.
Yeah, they try to listen for a second and then decide that this conversation is too grotesque and uncouth, and they leave very quickly.
And Cuthbert shout, "Oh, I can't believe they didn't want to hear about the blessings of Cuthbert."
Well, at least we'll have an in with Lord Umbrin.
You already do.
Exactly.
Yeah, and a couple of the soldiers who you notice too, the skeletons are wearing the weird like skin armor that's like glowing, like reflecting the light. Stop Clintok and say, if you need anything, just let us know.
Don't worry, I'll be around. I'll ask after you.
Okay, so you head to the silly lady.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so you get in there, ring-a-ding. It is full of frilly stuff, right? There's a large assortment of like shawls and blankets and scarves, and there's some potions. Everything is very neatly organized, and it's a Ladrin woman who she looks very pale, like pale blue, and there's a chill in the air. As soon as you walk in, it's kind of very cold. And she is just sitting behind the counter, kind of meditating. She opens her eyes. She says, "Can I help you?"
We have two friends who we think were poisoned with, and he'll name the plant that the captain
My,
named.
I'm sorry to hear this. It's a tragedy.
Is there anything that is there any supplies that you have on hand that could be an antidote to it?
Yes, I think so. This sounds like something. This sounds like primrose wine would take care of. She walks over to a shelf, and she's got this bottle with a cork on it. That's kind of like red. It's got like a red hue to it. She takes it down from the shelf. Yes, I think this could cure that. You called it some sort of dragon plant. Yes, that should take care of it.
We also have many friends with many ailments that require much healing.
Well,
Sorely wounded are they?
she looks over at the group and she says, "Yes, I see you have suffered much."
Suffering is putting it very lightly.
No point in living if you don't have adventures, and sometimes those adventures come with reminders.
Yes. And the bell ring, the door to the shop bell rings, and you see a man come in his fancy suit, but he is a zombie. He comes walking in, and she's like, "Yeah, pardon me, Patrick, I have your candles." And she takes out a wooden box of candles, and he's like, "Thank you." Grabs his box of candles and walks back out. "Yes, I have I believe I can help you."
What are the candles for?
Oh, for the spells and for the aromas, of course.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, and you do have a bit of a smell about you, but I do not judge.
Oh, we know.
It was beyond our.
We
It wasn't our decision.
some strong, independent women tried to claim us, but we managed to get away for now.
I should have been a strong woman and not let my man get away, but that is unfortunate.
Who is your man?
So you see her face kind of change, like, "Oh, thank God you asked me. I've been waiting." Somebody. She says, "Yes. His name, he was a great man. He came here it's been so long, and he had a presence about him. His name was Breaker Maxwell. He was such a dashing man, and we went to a restaurant and did the paddle boat rides and had a magical night, and he left and never returned." And she begins to wipe a tear away with a doily. She says,
Well, clearly he didn't know how to treat a woman.
"Oh, I heard that he perished, but enough about me. What do you require?" I'm sorry. Some of the primrose wine and maybe some other healing to help you.
We'll ask her if she can have anything to do with concussions or heel joint injuries.
I may have some sort of a general ointment that I may be able to give you that would help with your whatever is ailing you.
I do like ointment. It's great for after a workout.
Oh, okay.
Was it Felix or Clintok who took the arrow to the knee?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
it's
Clinton.
Clintok will just say, I know you probably hear it a lot, but I took an arrow to the knee yesterday. And let me tell you, it's made things difficult. Not so stealthy these days, if I might say so myself.
Yes, I noticed
Yeah,
you were
that's why I said joint, but yes.
you walked very. Yes, I assure you the ointment that I have will help a little bit with that. Sometimes we can help speed up the recovery if we cannot cure the outright condition.
Oh, well, fabulous. And Felix just leans in and says, "Do you have anything for some long-term burn care? I mean, I would take some now, but I probably need more for the eventualities that happens again."
Dualities. Okay. She says, yes, this. It's my special concoction.
Thank you.
So she says, what? So, how much of the wine do you need? One drink should take care of this paralysis.
So
Well, enough for 2 people then.
2 drinks.
Does
By the
does
bottle.
it store well?
Well, yes, if you keep the cork on it, it should store for a while.
Perhaps we need 4 or 5 drinks.
The
And
bottle,
just in
perhaps.
case.
A
The
bottle.
Okay. The bottle will give you 6 doses.
Perhaps a bottle and 2 drinks. If you have as much to spare.
Bottle and let's see. Unfortunately, this bottle is all that I have. It will take me a couple days to get more.
Okay. I mean, hopefully we don't run into paralysis that often.
How much do we owe you for the bottle?
Well, the bottle will be 500 gold.
Yo.
And the ointment is, of course, my own creation. Made with the tears of my own lost love. Kind of like hands you a little, little metal container with a cap. She says she said apply to whatever you need that to give you 5 doses of that. Together, it will be 1,000 gold. But I will, of course, take a discount if you have a story as tragic as mine to tell.
We have a story of a lost soul. We have a story of courage to tell as well, of a man stranded in captivity who was rescued by faithful friends.
Yeah,
Clintok
she's looking for a tragic romance.
Yeah, Clintok just looks to Karn and says, "Have you so quickly forgotten how I lost the love of my life?"
Oh my!
Yep. There
You
you
do-
go.
You
Married
were
and widowed.
engaged and married, and you lost her all in the same day.
Oh my gosh! This
All in the same 10 minutes, even.
They
Was
say
it as
love.
short as 10 minutes? I thought perhaps it was at least 20.
The brightest
Okay.
candles
So
burn for
yeah,
half as
the
long.
bard. Unless Clintok wants to tell his own story, the bard can work with this. You know, if you want
Clintok
to tell
just,
your own story, it is your story. But other than that, he's going to drama it up. You know how she was the last bastion of good against a family overtaken by evil. You know how she dramatically reached out to Clintok as a savior to help her save her family's very souls from corruption and being taken. But the only way was to marry. And just as the vows were given, and the kiss happens, the evil sister struck and attempted to kill them all. And how we had this climactic battle against her still evil family, and indeed the demon that had taken them. how she perished in said battle, and the rest of us, managed to succeed at great cost, and how, in the end, the entire estate folded up on itself and fell into the deepest hells, and how she must now be an angel in heaven because indeed that it was exactly what she was while she was on Earth. And of course, how Clintok was so distraught about it that he has renounced the name of Wagonbow forever, so he can never be part of the family that at once took him in and at the same time tried to kill him. We ought to be able to work that up to something pretty dramatic, especially since it's true. So if the Fae are, so if she wants an actual true story, it's just a little embellished.
So she is like focused and enthralled and like enraptured in this story. Just like she is taken, and you can see she's crying. She takes that doily and wipes the tears each time. And she comes up to Clintok and she says, "This is a story so dry. I am so heartbroken for you." And she gives you a hug.
I gently embrace her.
I'm so sorry. And she wipes the tears. Everybody give me a D4 roll.
4.
Ooh, nice.
1
4.
for Clintok.
Yeah, just roll per person. That's fine.
Okay.
4.
So 4, 1, 4.
A 1, whatever.
Okay. So she takes the door. She's like, she embraces Clintok and she apologizes. She says, "Oh, that's such a tragic story. I don't know if I could go on. She takes that cap off of the whatever this ointment is and takes the doily and kind of squeezes it, and you can see something come out, some kind of liquid, obviously her tears, and they go in, and she kind of takes her finger and mixes it up and seals it. She says, "This you can have for free. There is no charge."
Oh wow.
She hands you the ointment. She says the bottle of the wine is 500. I apologize for the cost, but it is what is required to make more and to.
Basil speaks up and says, what would that be in silver? I have this piece of silver here.
She says, she looks at the coins and she's like, it would be 5.
Ooh. And he pulls out 3 more and says, well, I have 4.
4 pieces of silver. Yes, for you, yes. And she takes the silver and hands you the bottle.
All right.
So you have May's tears. That's an ointment. It is kind of gunky consistency and it smells of mint. But you have 15 doses.
Woo!
And each time you use it, it will take off 1 day of whatever malady you have.
Oh man.
Clintok like graciously accepts and then says to her, I know it must have been hard for you to hear such a tragic story. If you find that you need company this evening, please let me know.
And Orion pretty much shamelessly comes up, pats Clintok on the back, says, This is why I admire you.
You're the one that told the story. All I did was live it.
You're the one, but you're the one who lived it, or at least lived it most centrally. The rest of us were but bit characters in your great tragedy.
Wow.
He's trying to help play. He's trying to help play wingman here.
He takes the bow.
Okay, she says, I appreciate the offer. I am flattered, but my heart is only with one.
No, I understand.
So as you look at the primrose wine, as you kind of take the cork off, it smells of like cloves, and there's a strong pear smell, like the fruit pear. And you kind of look
Primrose
down,
wine.
yeah, and as you kind of look, you can see there are pieces of fruit in there. It looks like pear.
Okay.
You have
Okay.
6 doses of in the bottle.
Okay. Well, we'll sort of sit. I mean, we brought them for a reason. We'll sort of sit each of the guys up and dribble carefully so they don't choke. Dribble a dose down their throats.
Okay. And as you do that, they begin, the paralysis breaks, and they are no longer paralyzed.
So we've got 4 doses of primrose wine left, and Timul and Zofan are able to move. Nice. Basil Wilberforce is kind of overcome. He says, you know, I do have something else for somebody who's suffered from so much tragic loss. I know I didn't have more silver, but I have this pair of earrings. He's got those gold earrings that are worth 90 gold pieces.
Okay.
He says, I think they would look lovely on you.
Oh,
And I know they can't take the place of your loss, but maybe they'll help.
oh. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. These are a lovely gift. Oh, it's this day I've been so fortunate to meet you. You have lightened my heart. But I do notice that that you have been hag touched, perhaps.
Yeah,
Yes,
we all
we
have
have been told. We managed to evade their clutches once, but they keep trying to reassert their claim.
Oh, so this was not by choice, I take it. I do not want to interfere in any sort of relationship.
Oh, please interfere. This
Please.
is, I am happy to open this relationship up. The relationship is what you call it.
Well, I may know someone who may be able to help you with this problem. If you wish to alleviate yourselves of this hag touch situation.
I mean, the hags did try to warn us the last time.
Well, yes, the same way you would keep your animal stock from going into a predator's den.
True.
I would be most appreciative. Are they in the city?
No, they are in distant shore.
That sounds far.
Oh, it is only a day away. If you take the it is only a day away if you take that way.
That way.
Yes, it's a ferry road.
Ooh.
Where else can the ferry road take you?
Well, that way goes to the distant shore. This way, I'm not sure where it leads.
We were separated from. Well, it's really a long story, but we're looking for a quick way back to East to Nor.
I don't
You know,
If that is in the mortal world, I don't know. I don't understand. I'm so sorry.
it is okay.
You have been more than accommodating and helpful.
We will go to that way then.
Yes, if you do seek that way, distant shore, just seek Lord Three Moons Waxing. He should he is the ruler of that way and distant shore. I know he wants to be the ruler of Tarkos, but Lord Umbrin is securely here, though he has been no trouble.
Getting involved in another government overthrow.
Probably not. Yeah.
May not be the best idea that we've ever had.
We've had worse.
But we must get back over across the sea. We have friends to help there.
Yes, I know that way can distant shore can cut off some time.
Really?
Yes,
To
you
get
would-
to East and Ord?
I don't know what you speak of, but the ferry roads do lead to places. They are shortcuts, as you would say.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Who would know where these shortcuts go?
There is a down by the docks that are on the west side. Look for a tall elven man who wears a cloak that has 3 waxing moons. He could tell you more of this passage on that way.
Down by the docks, a cloak with 3 waxing moons on an elven man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Which means he's a servant of Lord Three Moons Waxing. Surprise, surprise. I'll ask her if she has a supply of healing potions, and if so, how much they might run.
She reaches up and pulls out a bottle, and she says, "This has 3 doses. I can provide it for you. That would be, oh, your stories have been so wonderful. 100 gold pieces."
A more than fair price, especially since we need it. All righty.
What will they do?
They are healing potions. They also will cure poison.
Okay.
You have 3 doses of it.
That's a fair trade.
Yep.
Perhaps, brave and wonderful lady, you can tell me of someone in this town who could provide a shining knight with armor.
Oh. uh, yes, I don't think we have any armor smiths here. You may want to speak with the man at the docks, the elven man. He may know.
Well, point to note, I forgot that I actually have access to healing spells now. So unless there is somebody else who has fewer than 6 hit points, I'm going to use my healing spell on myself.
Okay. So there was something I absolutely forgot that I should have remembered. Well, no, it didn't. That's right. It didn't matter because Clintok got dropped. But remember, I guess I didn't forget. Any healing you get from like Orion or a cleric is always temporary because you have no soul.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you were gonna fall out because you had temporary hit points, but you went unconscious, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So there is a downside to having no soul in this
Correct.
life.
Yeah, I've been trying to keep track of that.
That's fine. I was trying to remember. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
right. It's temporary. Okay.
Okay, again, the question is, does anybody have fewer than 6 hit points? Otherwise, I'm going to zap myself.
That would be Clintok at 4 hit points.
Temporary hit points.
No, these are the real ones from like overnight healing.
Oh, okay. But his
Do I-
healing
do
isn't going to
I-
help you. His healing's temporary.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't need that. You're fine.
Okay, well, fine. I regained 5 more points, so still not feeling completely healthy, but I'm going to save that healing potion for now, the one that also cures poison, because by damned, we've been poisoned before, so might need that.
Yeah, it has the healing potion has kind of a soapy consistency to it, and it smells. Does absinthe have a smell to it?
Black liquid.
Yeah.
Okay, that smells like that and blackberry.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything else you want to do?
Well, apparently asking about a damn bathhouse is forbidden around here, so yeah, let's not piss her off by asking about a bathhouse. But honestly, we probably all need one.
I mean, we did get an answer.
Said that wouldn't help.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
we've been heavily injured, and so running flat out, soaked in our blood and other people's, burned, fried, wading through marshes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There is a limit.
It might not get the smell of the hags off of us, but it'll get the rest off of us, right?
Yep.
Basil Wilberforce doesn't know what you're talking about. He doesn't smell anything. I don't know what you're worried about.
I just eyeball him and go, this is the guy who in the middle of trying to get away from the apes, tumbled into a whorehouse and managed to get a bath there.
And a massage.
Well, that's
Did I get caught by the apes? Did I lead anybody else to the apes?
That
Oh.
suit that you're in right now will wear and last so much better if you wear it while you're clean. I know you're happy with the suit.
Well, yeah, and he sniffs his own armpit and goes, I don't think I smell bad.
Orion gets some eye rolling practice.
I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Bath, no baths, I don't care.
Uh-huh. And therein lies the problem. All right, I can see I'm going to have to deal with rinsing off in salt water on the ship. Oh well.
All right, so what do you guys do? You leave the silly lady and head to.
Well, we've been given 2 options. We can try the local lord to scrape the hag stench off. We can try 3 Moons Waxing, who may have a way out of here, B, scrape the hag stench off, and C, maybe even get some armor for Karn. So,
Oh,
I mean,
did we? Sorry if I missed this. Did we give the dosage to Zofan and?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are waiting again.
Yeah,
Okay.
we did.
Not paralyzed.
Zofan and Tamul are no longer paralyzed.
Okay. Oh, he's just like
So-
blinking his eyes and like moving slowly, getting back to remembering what it's like to move. I would love some food.
Well, that seems to me like we should find a place to get a bath and eat. Those are normally the same places, right?
I Thank you.
Maybe we could even take our food in the bath.
Decadent.
Whoa.
I mean, if a bath is in the offing, I'll take one.
But we should hurry. We should make sure that we get back to Captain Bosun.
Yeah, we should check with him. I mean, obviously they're actually quite friendly to him, but he's not going to want to hang around forever, I don't think. So we should definitely check in with him first. And if we can get into Lord, what's it, the local
Or
one?
Umbran.
Yeah, if we can get into him quickly, otherwise looks like we should try to deal with 3 Moons waxing.
I'm not opposed to that plan.
So May says, well, if you need some sustenance, I recommend a place called the Regal Beagle.
Regal Beagle.
The Regal Deagle.
Beagle.
The Regal Beagle.
Oh, do they have a beagle there?
No.
I miss my dog.
Oh,
I have a wonderful dog. His name is Sir Brutus Cromwell Ashford III.
oh, he sounds lovely.
Oh, he is the best good dog ever. So the Regal Beagle, this is a good dog too.
Oh, it's not necessary. It is just the name of a place that you can get some nourishment.
Oh, darn, no dog.
Food would be wonderful.
I suppose food would
Okay.
be good too.
Yeah. But honestly, as nice as the places around here are, I'm afraid we might get kicked out unless we do the bath first.
He says most of the time, those who are not native to the land of fairy or shadow go there, so you should be fine.
Okay.
Let us continue.
Yes.
Yeah.
She gives Clintok another hug as you leave.
He tries to let out a single tear,
Okay.
assuming that's a charisma check. He succeeds.
Yes. Oh, so yes, you cry. She looks at you and she's like, "Oh, don't make me cry too." And she gives you another hug. And when she does that, the tear on her face kind of touches your face,
Oh,
and it removes 1 day of your condition.
nice.
Damn. Nice.
She goes back and she puts up the close sign as you leave and closes the door and just kind of looks like she goes back there and sits and kind of goes back into her meditative state. You walk across this city to the Regal Beagle, passing all sorts of those you would expect to find in the land of fairy and in the land of shadow, dressed to the nines, talking, and you pass like a group of people playing instruments. They're all woodwinds, playing some music, as they're all like they kind of give you side eyes as you walk by.
We also give them side eyes, specifically Basil, because he's more of a brass guy.
Orion plays the flute, as we pass by. He's going to sort of nod as one professional to the other and sort of play a counterpoint melody, not clashing with them, not falling in with them, but just something, just a little counterpoint, something slightly different.
Yes. And you realize you are now playing a solo as they all stop and look at you.
And I will raise my eyebrow and bow to them slightly and say, I did not mean to offend.
No, not take it. So you walk across the city. You come up to this crystal building. They're all made of crystal. And in the front is this long, looks like a trough of water. And in the water are bathing a bunch of Koatoa, which are fish people, and they're just basking in the water. And on the sign, it says Regal Beagle. And then underneath, it says Saloon, but one of the O's, it looks like it was originally a salon, but one of the O's is like painted on top of it. So it says Saloon.
Gotcha.
It's an afterthought.
You guys walk in, and there's some tables and assorted chairs everywhere, and an elven an elven woman comes up to you and she says, can I help you? Do you need some food?
Yes. Do you have goat meat?
Goat meat.
Goat jerky,
Here we go.
goat steaks, goat roast.
She says, let me see what because there's nobody else in here except for one Koatoa who's sitting at the bar smoking a pipe. He kind of looks at you, nods. And you hear like coming out of the back room with an apron, opening the door. Let's see, we got some guests here. My God. Well, I'm the cook here, Tobias Eddington, of course. Welcome to the Regal Beagle. How you been? You look hungry. You look parched too. You like some water? Or some ale? Now we
I
got
would
plenty
like
of-
some water.
Your
Water.
finest food and drink, my good sir.
Well, of course, on the menu today, we've got roasted lamb, of course, and some fried there duck, and some, they're more, this is more of a delicacy from, out there in the material world, they like to call it, but some folks enjoy the sewer rat. I don't know. I mean, if you cook it right, I'm sure it's fine. And then everything, of course, is with blueberry pie, and then all sorts of potatoes that we have. We have braised potatoes and stewed potatoes and fried potatoes, and of course the mashed potatoes to go as well. And vegetables.
I will have the duck and your finest red wine, please.
Oh, we're coming right up, sir, for you. Yeah,
Potatoes and water.
potatoes in water. Interesting choice. Extra potatoes for you. You look like you need it.
What was the meat? I was just hung up on the potatoes.
Oh, of course you were. And who wouldn't be?
Lamb, duck, or sewer rat.
Sewer rat, it's sort of a delicacy. Yeah.
I'll have the mashed potatoes and the stewed potatoes and the braised potatoes.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll find assortment. I'll throw some of the fried potatoes in there for you just to make sure you get the full complement.
Do you have anything else?
What do you mean? Anything else? I mean, I just said everything we
Just
got.
The roast lamb. I'll have
Oh.
that.
Oh, of course, lamb for you. Yeah.
I'll have-
Also potatoes and some ale.
Oh, yeah. Fine ale. I'm sure.
I'll have the lamb
Sure, you will.
and
Yeah, of
potatoes.
course. Sure. I'll just bring out some potatoes for everybody. Make sure you get some.
All right. Yeah, Orion goes, a good serving size of each, everything on the menu. And
Oh,
looks at
sure.
John
Yeah.
Doe
You
and
look,
goes,
sure look like you've used plenty of food. You've seen a lot of. You look like you're in pretty rough shape there. I don't worry. Don't
Yeah.
mind the smell of the mothball. Whatever you choose to do is your business. If you need some bath, of course, you can head out there and get in the salt water. Don't worry. They're pretty clean. They don't poop in the water. The Koatoa, that is.
Right.
They got to be in there. They got to get a certain amount of water each time because they're really a fish person. They got to be out here and breathing air all day. They got to get in there and swim. Don't worry, it's clean.
I would expect nothing less.
Of course. I mean, I use the water the potatoes with, so it's fine.
Oh, great. So I'll ask the waitress to borrow a bar cloth. And
Sure, yeah.
and Orion will wander out to where the Koatoa are, and while the food is being prepared, he'll use the bar cloth to sort of give himself a a wash down and sponge bath.
Come right in, have a seat. Water's fine.
Well, wouldn't want to pollute it with everything that I picked up in the last day or two without washing off first, rinsing
No,
off first.
no, there's plenty of algae and fungi in here that will eat it all, so don't worry. It's a filter.
All right. Well, what the heck?
Clintok
So,
has
yeah.
no shame and just like strips down to nothing and climbs into the water to bathe.
Okay.
Same with
Yeah.
Basil.
If it's going to be a group effort, what the heck?
Is this before or after eating?
This is
Wow.
before.
While
Four.
the food is being prepared.
Yep.
I guess Basil will get in.
Basil Wilberforce will get in there. Karn looks a little ashamed, but he gets in.
Okay.
John Tor's like, I've never done anything like this before, but I guess if you guys are all doing it. So yeah, looks like we're all going to take a bath with the Koto. Boy, that's something that Orion would never have actually thought of as part of an adventure, but there you go. Working for the Thunderous Fury has definitely given him stories to tell.
Yeah, so that Koatoa, so you're all in this, it's a long trough. It's probably like 20 feet across. The water is tepid. It's not very cold, but it's not very hot and feels good. It's salt water, feels good. And the Koatoa are just laying in there, really enjoying. They duck their head in every once in a while. That one who's got the big pipe comes out. He climbs in and sits down. And you guys, he's like, and the drinks come out. So, you know, they start handing you the drinks when you're out there. And the Koatoa with the pipe, like, he's like, here's to swimming with barnacle-legged women when he starts drinking.
Barnacle-legged women? Is
Yes.
that what he said?
Yes.
I love it.
Here, here.
Orion is never to be topped. Is going to come up with something similar. Basically a whole bunch of verses about how terrible and nasty this woman was, but I've been at sea so long I'd hit it anyway.
All right. So, yeah.
Basil pulls up a shot and says, a sailor's not a sailor anymore, and tosses it back.
Also, there are limes in all your drinks. Like, there are pieces of lime.
No flies here.
Good. Squeeze the juice out. Make sure to drink the juice. We're limeys now.
Yeah, you're just enjoying yourself. At one point, you see a kinku go into the Regal Beagle and come out with a big stack of sewer rats. Tips his hat to you, and he heads off.
Zofan just kind of raises his eyebrow and it says, I guess there is really something for everyone here.
So you go in clean as you could be. Head back into the Regal Beagle, have a seat. The food has been delivered. It's hot. It's good.
The
Basil,
whole reason Orion ordered a bunch of everything is so he could share with John Tor and smack him on the back and say, hey, and you're no longer working for Gruel. You're working for Sewer Rat instead. I will take the Sewer Rat and slap it on John Tor's plate. John Tor just sort of rolls his eyes at Orion and puts the Sewer Rat back and gets double servings of everything else.
Yeah, as you come in, Captain Bosun actually comes in here as you're eating and takes a seat. He sits up at the bar. He doesn't want to bother you.
yeah, we've spent enough time together.
Orion is going to try the Sewer Rat. You just don't go into a place with that on the menu and not try it out.
Yeah, it's a little salty. I mean, of course, it's served with some scallop potatoes, but it's, you know, everything's got potatoes. You even get potatoes you didn't even order. They seem to be on there as well.
Basil Wilberforce has no problem with sewer rat. None. Oh, good rat. Well cooked. You know, if you overcook rat, it's not the same.
Clintok just says, "Oh, I'll take your word for that."
Anything you're going to do? So eating, you getting, relaxing, and what's the plan?
Since you seem to be big man around town here, and I'm sure you'll hear the rumors if you talk to people, we've been sort of hag-touched. And any chance we can talk to the local lord and see if we can get his help removing this?
Who are you talking to?
Captain Bosun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he comes over. You talking about Lord Umbrin? No, his realm is in the realm of, he's somewhere in shadow. He's not really here. He just kind of runs things from afar.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll look around at the rest of the guys. So we heard about this guy, 3 Moons Waxing,
Yeah.
who might be able to help us out in multiple ways. You know anything about him?
I'm really not familiar with fairies, so that's not my lane. I mean, if he can help you guys out, I mean, I probably need to at least look into it and see what he can do. I mean, I don't know where you guys are headed. I guess I heard something about Eastanor. I mean, I can get you there, but it's going to definitely take some time.
Sort of kind of maybe thinking about looking into fairy roads. Orion will sort of look around and say, unless you guys think differently, it would also be really, really nice to be way the hell away from where the Empire thinks we are.
Yes, but trust
Talking
not
with
the faith, they are capricious.
Captain Bosun's like, yeah, he hate to admit it, he's got a point.
Yeah.
Obviously I don't run this joint, and I'm so happy I don't. I'm just throwing out ideas, and if everybody hates them, well, we don't do them. But if people like them, we can give it a shot. I'm just saying.
I am not the master of this ship either. Good friend Orion, you are my best friend here. I will follow you anywhere that you say that you want to go. It's just that I have heard from the wisdom of Cuthbert that you can't trust the Fae, for they are tricksy. They will tell you one thing and do another.
Oh, no, they'll tell you one thing and do exactly what they said, but not in the matter that you think. Do not question a Fae's honor, but also do not question their cunning, because they will be forced to show it.
Yeah, you think you're going one place and then you end up going another.
Ship out with our trustworthy captain here, Captain Bosun, or worst comes to worst, we could just talk to this guy down on the docks and see what he offers.
It is worth at least trying. I know very little. Actually, very little. I know nothing about the Fae.
I mean, there's no harm in trying to negotiate a good price.
Oh, of course. Talk is the wind. Talk is the wind. We can go and talk with this 3 waxing moons as long as we like.
I guess that'll be the next stop then. We'll go out and see about this man who represents 3 Moons Waxing.
While we're eating, Basil is going to deploy his rabbit flag as just to give us some extra good luck.
Yeah.
While we're eating.
Yeah, friend, where'd you get that flag there?
I found it.
Oh, that's a good looking flag there. Reminds me of a good friend of mine I once knew a long time ago.
You talked to rabbits?
Well, yeah, I did. Yeah, good friend. His name was it wasn't a name, but a number 13. Good friend of mine. Yeah. We hung around together.
Did he make this flag?
I don't know if he was much of a, if he was good with the needle and the thread, but he could have. Maybe he picked up that along the way.
It sounds like you guys had a lot of adventures.
Oh, yeah, a lot of good times there, of course. Yeah, but I think my adventure days are over. Yeah, now I'm just here, manning the Regal Beagle, taking care of my potatoes. But,
They are
you know,
delicious.
oh, of course they are.
Where is your friend now?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, he went somewhere with Prime One. He's up there somewhere. I haven't seen him in a while. Maybe he'll come visit.
Well, hopefully. Hopefully he hasn't forgotten about you.
Oh no, no, I'm sure he hasn't. He'll be back one day, I'm sure. You know, he's got big adventures still left to do. I was but his retainer, but it wasn't adventure was for me anyway. And also, it was hard for me to, take care of things because in order for me to, get right there in the thick of it, I got to limber up first. Don't want to pull something that takes a while. And by the time I'd get done, get all that finished there, the whole ruckus would be over, and I'd miss it.
Yep, like that poor crossbowman that we left behind.
Yeah, that does make it difficult to get into a scrap. You have to limber up every time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I got to do it in the morning. Just even demand the potatoes and work here in the kitchen.
Look, I'm just throwing this out there. I can offer you a comprehensive training plan that will make it so that you don't have to spend as much time limbering up.
Wow, you're a personal trainer. I'm not sure. Sounds like an interesting idea. Yeah,
Think about it.
I
could
will,
give
of course. Yeah, I'll think
Give you
about it.
some homework. And then maybe when my adventuring days are over, I can come back and open up a more formal business.
Oh yeah, sure. Come here, talk. Sure. Yeah. We could always use it. Always use something else to do here.
See a lot of skin and bone out there.
Oh yeah, well, of course, yeah.
Yeah, they could at least use a little bit of muscle.
I'm sure they could, yeah, especially them skeletons. But that's what I can't help it there. Well, you keep a good eye on that flag. Take care of it, because I'm sure it brings you good luck. And best of luck to you. You come down the Regal Beagle. Don't worry about the tab. The good old captain is taking care of it. It's all on the house. And
Wow.
there's a sack of potatoes you can take with you, keep you nourished, and keep your strength up. And you may not have to limber up every time like here, like Tobias Eddington, but I'd recommend it each morning, just avoid any injuries or anything happening out there.
Gladly. These potatoes will come in very handy.
Sure they will.
And he will hoist the sack over his shoulder.
Mm-hmm. All right, and you guys leave the Regal Beagle Saloon and head over to like the West Dock, where you spot this elf who's like 7.5 feet tall, and he's wearing some kind of shimmering armor that's got like 3 waxing moons on it, kind of standing there. He's next to the dock where there's like a long boat that's got a bunch of oars, and it has an arrow that says this way and another arrow that points that way.
Ah, you wear armor, I see.
Yes.
Perhaps you know where I can find some for me.
I apologize. I do not know who outfits mortals with armor. Maybe excuse me. I am Sir Lorsan Moon-Star-Sprite, a distinguished emissary of Lord Three Moons Waxing.
Well met, emissary. Perhaps I am not your typical mortal. I am Karn Stone, the prophet of Cuthbert.
Have you been upgraded to prophet now? Wow. When did
lying.
that promotion happen?
Prophet, well, what can I do for you, prophet of this Cuthbert?
Well, I seem to be lacking some armor, and I've been looking for some. And of course, my friends are looking for a quicker path to East and Nor.
I'm not familiar with this East and Nor, but the quicker path is this way, as he points to the sign, or that way.
The quicker path to where?
Well, that way leads to distant shore. Lord Three Moons Waxing surely could help you with your east to north question. He knows many of the ferry roads, many secrets
They're all-
as well.
We're also told that he could help us remove a certain stench from us.
Oh, yes. I did notice that. Yes, he is quite familiar with those hag-touched.
Chop, let us see this, Lord.
He is a day away if you take that way.
That way,
What have you heard of the Infinite Road? Is that a ferry road?
Infinite road.
The opposite of finite.
Oh, yes, I have heard of this road. It is guarded by a great knight, one chosen by the gods, the mortal gods, that is. I heard he is fierce in combat. He protects the road from those unwanted. Lord Three Moons Waxing may know of these roads.
Do you know if the Infinite Road is one of the ferry roads? Or is that
No.
different?
No, it is some other plane or road.
Well.
Hmm.
And Basil Wilberforce is tugging at Karn's tunic, going, we could probably just take the ship back.
yeah, basically it boils down to we can almost certainly trust Captain Bosun, but he can't get where we want to go as fast as we want to get there. Or we take a ferry road.
And we never get there.
Have hopes of better, but yes, indeed have to deal with ferries quite a bit.
Clintok just says, I could use some R&R, so to speak. I don't mind the boat ride.
Karn is lobbying against ferries. Clintok wants rest. Honestly, Orion could use rest too, considering he's still down quite a few hit points. So, sounds like we will have to thank
Sir Lorsan.
Lorsan Moon-Star-Sprite for his time, but they're not necessarily interested in his services right now.
Very well. If you change your mind, I am right here.
Ferry or scary?
Do you say that out loud?
No, that's player to player.
Okay.
Ferry or scary, but I mean, that's just the kind of thing that Karn would be going after. And I think that Basil would have heard some stories. But they'll go along with others, they're not party poopers. Just
Okay.
for the flavor of it all, that I think that a follower of Cuthbert, a follower of those would be wary of the ferry.
Yep.
Okay. So we got Karn. I'm hearing Karn and Clintok definitely want to take the boat ride.
Yeah.
And the rest of us don't have really strong desires one way or the other, but Clintok's point about having time to rest up is an excellent point.
We'll have to see if we can find a way to send word to Remy.
This is true.
Lord Three Moons the ferry road sounds promising if it can help us achieve if we can find a faster way to the Infinite Road. Since that is our true goal.
Then Lord Three Moons Waxing would surely know where this road is. A ferry road may lead to the Infinite Road, but I am just familiar with that way.
But what assurances do we have that if we take that way, that we can come back this way?
No, you do not come back this way. You would come back that way.
What assurances that we have that we can come back to this location near this point of time and resume our journey with our friends that we have already made.
It is a day to distant shore, and you will take it a day back. There is just, you stay on the road, you will not get lost.
That sounds straightforward.
What are the dangers upon this road that may make us walk off of it?
You stay, as long as you stay in the boat, and there's a few places where you'll have to get out and pull the boat on the shore across shallower waters. But if you do not venture into the Petal Twinkle Ocean, then you, on either side, you will be fine.
And that is a danger, venturing into the Petal Twinkle Ocean.
Yes, but the path is easy to find. You follow the bubbles. And as he does that, he points out to like the ocean in front of him, and you faintly see like the water is bubbling, like making a path. He says, that is the road. Stay in this boat. I cannot give you every assurance there will be no dangers. But it is not in my best interest to have those who take the road never return.
Tell me, my friend, how many that take the road do not return?
I do not keep track of numbers. I just know that I send the boats out with payment for the other side. Sometimes I see those return. Sometimes they don't. Maybe they have gone on to other places.
Basil would like turn to the group. I'm also okay with taking a longer boat ride. But if Lord's Three-Mooned Waxing can provide more information about the Infinite Road, as well as a way to get there, we may be able to fast track to the Infinite Road instead of resuming where we originally were.
Well, we need to fast track to Remy. We don't know what she's going to do if we don't show up again. Is she going to keep on? Is she going to detour and try to pick up extra help? Is she going to turn back? We don't know what the heck.
Being around her, I would tell you that you would know she's not going to turn around and leave. She's going to get enough people that she thinks she can make it and press forward. Clintok said, wait 3 days.
Okay.
She's going to wait 3 days, and then she's going to keep moving.
And it's been about 3 days, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Yeah.
And if she's heading to the Infinite Road or a gateway to it, we might be able to meet her there if we can find an entrance to get to where we were going in the first place.
If we are going to try this, we all need to try this together. It's one.
Oh, absolutely. And we need to see if Captain Bosun won't wait a couple of days just in case we come back, just in case we decide not to bargain and come back and use him anyway.
Clintok says, if the captain will wait for our return, then I am fine with this.
Okay. Well, let's go chat with Captain Bosun then.
Okay. So yeah, you catch Captain Bosun by the dock. He is like entertaining a couple zombies as they're just like talking to him and like, oh my gosh, you knew Hashiv, the god of no shirts. Is this true?
Clintok will think out loud. Did he always wear no shirts, or did that come after defeating the?
No, he always wore no shirts. So he thanks them and they walk on to go listen to some more woodwind music that's playing on the dock, and you guys come over. He's like, well, I hope you guys found what you needed. I mean, this has been a pretty eventful trip for me. So we headed out or what?
We may be able to get a line back to where we came from, as well as hints at a couple of other useful things.
Okay.
But it's at a minimum, it's going to take a 2-day detour to go see a lord who is not here. Would you mind sticking around for a couple of days? And if we don't come back, well, thank you. You've been a fantastic help. If we do, we'll just continue our journey.
Well, okay. One, I talked to the Dreadworm Knights, and he's like, Olivia, the other group. They came to
These
me.
are our rivals.
They wanted to. They've got a particular destination that they want to go to. I can take them there and come back here, since apparently I'm more than welcome. And probably 3 days, and you guys can go do what you need to do. And if you're not back, and
Tell me, Captain Bosun, you've been around for a while. Have you heard of this Lord of the Three Waxing Moons?
no, I'm not familiar with Fairy. The only thing I know of Fairy is as I know, if you enter it, you may not remember it. So who knows? Maybe I have met this man. I just don't remember. And that I know time passes very differently. So you may exit the Fairy Road, but time has passed more than you think. But at least you shortened your trip.
Time has passed
Right.
more than we think, but how long would it take us to reach Eastern Anor if we were to book passage with you?
Well, we have to avoid the Empire. Probably 5 or 6 days at least. Depends on where you want to go.
Wherever
But-
we're most likely to meet the to meet Remy.
Yeah, I mean, if you explain Twin Rivers, he's like, yeah, I got to go all the way around Clinkville, and he's like, you could go and do this thing and decide that it's not worth it and come back, and we can just leave from here. Or if you decide that that way is much better, just send word. I'm sure there's a way they can get messages back and forth.
Yep.
Somebody will
That
be
sounds like
taking.
a plan. We can at least check things out, and if it fails, we've got our trustworthy captain here.
Trustworthy. Yep.
Oh yeah.
If
trustworthy.
everybody else wants to try it, Karn and Basil will try it.
Clintok asked Captain Bosun, so where exactly are our friends going?
I'm not gonna. I just they told me to keep that in confidence, so I'm going to. So
Fair enough.
just like I wouldn't tell them where you guys went. So I don't know what happened over in Lindbergh, but I don't know.
No, understandable. You risk your business by telling us such a thing.
Makes a lot of sense.
All right. Well, are we going
Yeah, we gotta find
visit
out.
Lord's Three Moon Waxing?
I believe so. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's go that way.
all right. So
Goes that way.
so you guys kind of get yourself together, get all your stuff. Captain Bosun gets the other crew together, and he says like he'll be back in 3 days. As everybody is waving to him from the docks, he's got a grand departure, and they head off. And you guys get ready to take that way to see Three Moons Waxing, and that's a good place to stop.
All right.
Very well.
We're taking that way as
Yes.
opposed to this way. Oh God.
Right. So yeah, this will be kind of this whole part of the however long it is kind of a little touch into Dolmenwood setting, because Three Moons Waxing is my creation based on the Dolmenwood lords. But it'll be kind of dipping into that more fairy lore or whatever. But yeah, like I said, it may take you a day to go an incredible distance.
Right.
But once you step into the mortal world, we'll roll, and you may not remember that you were on the ferry road, and 2, 2 weeks could have passed.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And we're in the Dolmenwood, so
No, you're not
Shit.
necessarily. No, you're not necessarily in the Dolmenwood. That is a specific place that may come
Okay.
up. You're not in the Dolmenwood.
Okay.
Distant Shore is not Dolmenwood. That is a separate place. It may come up. You may ask Three Moons. He may bring it up. Who knows?
All right. Sounds good.
But I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate you playing. It was always fun. It's always fun to play Tobias Eddington.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's always fun, you see. That was
Yeah.
that was 13's retainer in the previous campaign. Just like Hesh. I was like Hesh was familiar because there was
Yeah.
the mackerel and one of my characters surfed on a mackerel too. But there was Hesh was the one that surfed on the mackerel.
Yep. Yeah. That Hesh was another player's character who actually, he called himself the God of No Shirts, and he did defeat the Leviathan here in Tarkos. And
Nice.
the person Breaker was another actually Russell, Kirk, that was his character who actually did die. That was like the first episode he met May. And never, broke her heart. And
Okay.
so yeah, it was based off his character. So yeah. And Captain Bosun did take them there a long time ago. He took them to Tarkos. So got everybody is not paralyzed. Just I will let you know how many days you have each condition, so you can decide how much of that you want to remove. I figured since the conditions were piling up, we should probably have something that maybe helps alleviate that.
Oh, come on. We
Use
need
up
to
some
get to the point that everybody has a condition.
and use up some resources while you're at it.
Right. I mean, you make yeah. But yeah, you guys managed to escape the apes and the earth elemental. Good job there. And
Vaguely.
you
Fair.
didn't start a fight on the ship with that group because you may have gotten yourself into a little bit of trouble with them, but
Yeah, they were totally kidded out.
Yeah, Orion is a little stung. They just brushed me off, man. I mean, that's terrible.
all right, guys. Well, I appreciate it as always. If I don't see you, talk to you, you have a good Christmas, good New Year, and looking forward to 2024.
All
Yeah.
right.
See you,
All
everyone.
right.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for running, Peter.
All right, take care.
Great game.